You
I
don't
give
want
a
people to get
responding.
into the mind of Kyle Murray? Is that what you're saying, or
Yeah.
you just want to roast him after?
Mike, I don't think is gonna give me Cook, unfortunately.
Has he told you to be serious yet?
He's contemplating he is contemplating an offer I sent him, although I don't think I kind of think he's half ghosting me at the moment.
I started recording, but
So,
I can stop and start again.
This is what I think he's gonna do.
Yeah.
I think
fine.
he's gonna let that offer sit until Monday, and then after you lose to him, he's gonna accept it.
I mean, that wouldn't even be that bad, but I'll withdraw it going into the weekend in case he gets hurt.
Could he even accept it post Monday?
You can
Yeah,
accept
true.
it Monday evening.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
I was gonna
accept
say-
it all the way until the end of the final snap, basically. I don't know how it works on Sleeper, like the precise moment, but yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, tell everyone what the offer is. Now that the whole league's listening in.
I don't think I'm gonna be sharing that information in a public forum like this.
Hey, how close was
Although
8 seconds to your offer?
8 seconds.
Was my
8
offer even
seconds to
brought
my
up?
offer.
Come
Your
on.
offer for who?
2 decades of 7th rounders.
Oh yes, true.
All right, legitimately, I was asking Alec and and Austin, Sam. I was asking them how many. Well, maybe not Sam anymore. How many seconds would you accept? How many seconds would it take for you to accept an offer for your best running back?
For Bijan? Oh,
Yeah, that's actually a perfect question for Andrew. I mean, I could think for Quinshon, but it wouldn't be as entertaining as for Bijan would be.
I feel like it'd have to be at least 8. Like maybe
I plugged it in on Fantasy Calc for
I feel like you have to be like
Gibbs,
15.
and the fair value was 8, but I was like, there's no way I would ever actually take that.
Like, I don't think I'm accepting 8 seconds for Jonathan Taylor. Like, if
Alec,
you're
when you
rebuilding, maybe.
If you were
plugged that
rebuilding,
when you plugged that in, was it all like 2026?
yeah, I just did 26 mids.
Okay.
So the interesting thing,
Jonathan Taylor is like literally. I feel like he's as valuable as Gibbs or Bijan in just like a day-to-day I'm trying to win the championship thing. Like obviously Dynasty skews it a little bit, but if I was you and I'm like I'm trying to win this year, it's gonna take as much to get rid of Taylor as like anybody.
Yeah, I agree.
He's so effing good.
I agree. But like, if you're rebuilding, say, and you're offered 8 seconds for a top tier running back. I mean, if you look at some of our past drafts, I was just looking at some of them. Like, let's just look at this draft, for instance. Maybe we just assume that you got the first 8 picks of the second round. Not realistic, but sure. You're getting Tyler Warren, Loveland, Abdul Carter, Higgins, Golden, Trey Harris, forgot his name for a second, Campbell, Scadaboo, Tootin.
I mean, that's pretty roster changing if you get those 8 players. Maybe it is worth it.
Maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But you look at some other but look here. 1 year ago, Bo Nix, Verse, Penix, but McConkey, Turner.
I mean, that's even. If that's a bad example.
Yeah, no, that's not. That's a good example. And then here, this is Rashee Rice and Achane for the first 8 picks.
I was going to say, I feel like it almost takes one entire round of a year
for Bijan.
Yeah.
So if you get a full round here, you're getting let's just talk the top guys: Achane, Rashee Rice, Laporta.
Who's that Wilson dude?
Wilson? Oh, this
Raiders
is Tyree
edge.
Has he done anything ever?
No. No. Not sure why he was drafted 2-3. But he was like the 7th overall pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty early pick that draft year.
How did I not remember that guy? I feel like I was very plugged in.
Because he's been so non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a few years now, so it's fair. 7th overall pick, yeah.
I mean, it was also just for Raiders, so it was just like, they just did a Raiders move, maybe? I don't know.
Was he an edge and not like a normal linebacker? What was he?
Correct.
He's an edge, yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Anyways, that was a bit of an aside. I think we're going to start off talking about okay, well, first of all, welcome to the podcast. Although I think we have most of our listeners
starting off with a tangent
on the podcast, so I guess this is for Sam.
Long-time listener, first-time guest.
Yeah. So welcome. We have with us everybody, pretty much. Zach, Kyle, Andrew, and Alec. Probably maybe. Andrew, are you staying on? You should, if you're able
I
to.
will.
Okay. Yeah. So welcome. How are you guys feeling about the playoffs? I think the most interesting wrinkle, and what I'll start off with, is the fact that I think Kyle has somewhere between a 30 to 40% chance of locking down the second bye.
You think it's only 30 to 40? I think it's
Austin
higher
playing?
than
You
that.
think it's higher?
Who's Austin playing?
Austin's
Alec.
playing Alec.
Okay.
I guess to me, the odds of Kyle getting that seed are whatever chance or whatever the odds are you think between Austin and I, who's going to win that matchup.
Yeah, but you got to give some odds to Mike winning.
I could be.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So I was thinking like 30, 40. I was originally thinking he's the favorite, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I think Austin has better odds.
I need two things to happen. Austin just needs one thing to happen. Although Andrew has like a 20% chance.
Happen, Kyle, is like
yeah. I don't think anyone has a majority chance right now.
I need Alec to beat Austin, which I don't think is guaranteed at all.
No, I meant you. Like you said, Austin needs one thing to happen. You need two things to happen. And I'm saying, but the one thing that you need, that the second thing you need to happen is almost a guarantee, which is.
I don't think that's true, but
I think it's like 95%.
I just scored like 220 points like a week ago.
What, Mike beating
and
Kyle?
Has Mike scored like 295 in the last like 4-5 weeks? I don't know. He could pop off. I guess St. Brown might be out again.
Yeah, no, I think Mike has somewhere in the range of 15 to 30% chance. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I'd put.
I have a mathematical answer. Kyle is 11-2 against Mike on the year, and I'm 9-4 against Austin on the year. We multiply those two percentages, 59% chance.
Thank you, Alec.
Now, what's the odds of both of them losing and me winning?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Andrew winning is almost a guarantee. So I think
Who's
it's
Andrew playing?
You?
Me? Oh, well, that's 100%. So just
No. It's a 0% chance. So I was just adding that in for Verinkle.
Yeah, no, I think Andrew has. I would say it's like 40-40-20 or something. Austin and I 40.
Off
Andrew
of
20.
vibes, that feels right. I'm sure Alec will correct us in a moment.
If you were to actually do like betting odds, that would be like plus 700.
What does that translate to?
I don't know, but it's just I need too much to happen for me is the ultimate point. So,
according to the odds, there's a 31.5% chance that this could happen for
Andrew.
Okay, so you're saying I have a 59% chance, and Andrew has a.
So we're calling Kyle the favorite here. That is sad.
But then what does that leave Austin? Austin's got to have a close to 50% chance.
No. I guess the way I'm calculating this is not like
adding up to
what are the odds that of a person ending up in the spot that we're talking about? It's more like what are the odds based on previous matches of you losing, Austin losing, and Andrew winning. That's what I'm calculating. So when I say 31.5, that's what I'm calculating. When I calculated yours, I was only calculating you and Austin, right? Because that's
only
independent
one
of
outcome
Andrew.
that matters.
Like Andrew could win or lose next week, but then Austin loses and you win, right? And you're the 2 seed. You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying I don't like. Maybe I'm not a good stats guy. The percentages that we're like claiming are the odds of these things happening aren't adding up to 100. Or like
Alec is going off of like a general, like all of the percentages of based off of like every game so far this year, right? Like the aggregate. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, if you played every week.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you the odds. So for you specifically, Kyle, the odds of Austin losing and you winning this week, 59%. Those two outcomes happening, 59%. Andrew's is different, you see, because Andrew's not included in that first valuation. For Andrews, I'm calculating what's the odds that you lose, Austin loses, and Andrew wins. So
Yeah.
they're not going to add up to 100. You could add them up to 100 if you include Andrew, but it's going to be some convoluted thing that I'm not going to calculate.
Yeah, that's fine.
So is Kyle's schedule here the luckiest schedule we've had so far in our league? I mean, I was blown away. I cannot believe that you've only scored 300 plus. What did I say? Twice?
That was a very arbitrary threshold, Paul. I think
what was the
scored-
arbitrary threshold? 300?
I think I've scored 275 almost every week.
275
not
with
that
our new
important.
settings is pathetic.
I was about to say, if it wasn't a steroid era,
Pathetic.
It is a steroid era. No, I think it's fun. I'm
Yeah, we,
happy to admit that I've done
You
most
think
of the
it's
schedule.
fun?
We lowered
And
the mound.
I will be advocating for schedule changes next year, but it's too late this year.
We were talking about schedule changes today. Alec and I were working out some different scenarios. It's actually such a mess. I'm curious what you guys are gonna think about some of the ideas, or if you have any ideas yourself about schedule changes, because drafting divisions was something we brought up. I am a little like, what do you think about that in the first place? Like, I would say maybe the top 3 by points for would draft with the third most points for drafts first, and then you snake through is my initial thought, and you draft
Yeah, I think-
basically the worst team you think is going to be the worst team next year.
I'd be cool with that, but I'd want to draft. My gut reaction would be I'd want to draft right before the beginning of the season, because like so much
Give the
can
most
change.
information. That makes
So
sense.
much can change. Like people's competing goals or rebuilding goals will be the most clear.
I think that
figure out
totally
something
makes
by
sense.
then.
Well, I think the last time I was on this podcast, we had a big blow up when I told you that it was really dumb that divisions would even exist. So it's funny that this was brought up in the next time, probably
Dumb that
like
what exists? The
1.5 years removed from that, I would guess. Something
We were
like
talking
that.
about the divisions supposedly last time Zach was on with us.
And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. No one's gonna care about that.
about what?
I don't.
I don't even remember
I have no
what.
issue with it in terms of like it being a thing. I think that what happened with Kyle this year was really stupid, but that's more of like an issue of Sleeper making like faux divisions.
Well,
in of
the divisions
itself,
are
I guess.
basically like, I mean, what's the alternative?
Like instead of it just being a random schedule, it's like it is a random schedule, but it's these like 4 teams like play each like round robin it at the beginning of the year.
The issue is that
Bizarre.
Sleeper just randomizes in a lazy way. You can randomize in a way for those 3 extra games. So obviously everyone has to play each other once. There are like perfect solutions for those 3 extra
Yeah, I just
games
don't know why we
that can be randomized.
Yeah, but
done that
every
before.
somebody's always gonna get a lucky schedule. Like,
Oh
Sure,
yeah, I
sure.
agree.
yeah,
Even,
like you
like,
have to
even
play
playing, like,
two.
one
You have to play
person
3 teams
yeah.
twice. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No.
This was just particularly rough. Especially, I don't think anyone. It was right away very clear that it was going to be very advantageous, but everyone thought it was going to be really advantageous for Adcock.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone thought that he had like the golden ticket, and then Adcock's team like just fell off a cliff, and Kyle ended up being the one who actually was the super beneficiary. So
Yeah, that made it a lot more disparity with the groups with Adcock not doing as well. But I mean, there's even with him, even if he was good, there's still 2 bad teams, and I think Alec, Austin, who are the other 2?
Sam and Todd, they're all in one, right?
Like that's a group of death, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell immediately that was going to be exactly what you just said, the group of death.
I mean, Paul and if my team was if my team didn't have a hard fall off, I think our division would have been Jack was clearly a bad, but Paul and Andrew were like arguably the 2 best teams coming into the year.
Yeah.
So that was like.
Yeah, I viewed my
insanely
schedule as
nice.
like just fine because I had.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that was what
I
it
would
should
agree.
be for most
You
groups.
had,
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's
Andrew's
like a
stuff.
normal schedule.
One truly easy game, one like reasonably easy game, and then like one really hard game.
Wait, so which one were you?
Paul, how many times have we played each other in the first 3 weeks? Though is my question.
You know, Sam brings this up a lot. Like he thinks that the randomization isn't that random.
I feel like it's always been though. Like maybe it's just like it rotates back one. So like if you like, I don't know. I'm going off of
I
the
looked-
initial thing. I feel like we've done it 2 times in the 5 years.
I have looked back, and I didn't really notice a pattern for my division. My
Yeah, I
quote-unquote
didn't. I didn't
divisions.
see any
mean,
when I
there-
looked either.
Things
Yeah.
you could have a truly random schedule generation, and it could literally give you the same schedule like
Yes.
3 years.
For sure.
But it wouldn't have
You'd have to
3
do it over, like,
clusters
100.
of 4 teams.
Yeah, my point is, it seems like it is reasonably random how they generate it, but we can still do a better job in theory. Alec and I were looking at a few different, like drafting divisions was one thing. My only concern is that I think there is a possibility that somebody would want to tank their division. Like, say you're a top 3 point. I think it's a niche case, but say you're top 3 points for scorer, but you know that you want to rebuild the next year. And maybe drafting this 1 week before the season starts is the solution. But you could draft yourself like a group of death on purpose to make sure that you don't happen to sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah, we were
it's
saying
pretty
that this
easy
is
to-
totally something that Kyle would pull.
So so hear me out. What if it's not points for, but what if it's based off of draft capital?
How do you measure it? Just like total.
Just do like Dynasty Daddy or whatever, one of those sites where it's like, okay, you have the least amount the next year.
That'd
don't
be
think it's
funny
a
because
good
I
way
feel
to,
like
like-
I'd be drafting going into this year.
Yeah, it's like not a good way to measure like
No,
team
no,
strength,
I
though,
know.
guess.
I'm-
Yeah.
I guess it's just like maybe it's a different way to put them into pods.
Yeah, I think putting the pots is the important part, and I figure points for is probably the best for.
The best metric for like draft order. I agree with that, but then like you can't just, I don't know. I feel like it has to be like of the remaining 9 teams or 8 teams, you have to do like pot 1, pot 2. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think I don't know. I would rather it not be so subjective. And
fair.
even within pots, like if you have Shane, Jack, Mike, I don't know. I feel like the variance within each pot could even be more than I'd want it to be. So I don't know. I'm probably most in favor of like a draft type of thing.
Yeah, I think the.
Well, that's what I'm
benefit-
saying. It's just like I don't know. It's going to end up like that anyways for the most part. Maybe there's a 4 versus 6 differential with how somebody drafts it, but ultimately, end of the day, I think it's fine. The last time we had all talked about this, though, there was also like set divisions moving forward, sort of thing that we had all
I don't-
discussed.
Yeah,
So
I will say I don't like if we were even considering like having actual divisions or having that matter in terms of playoffs. I would not want that.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think we
people
would.
want that. I think it's like kind of interesting as a concept, but I think we've all done divisions like a decade ago, like in high school or something. Like, have you guys played fantasy football where there were divisions? Like, I feel like
Yeah,
mhm.
everybody did at the beginning, and
Yeah, they're all dumb.
and then we
this is-
migrated pretty quickly to like a 1 standings setup.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to think about it a little bit more, I think, but maybe drafting. I like the drafting. I think I like drafting like a week before the start of the season because it does kind of alleviate this concern of mine about like intentionally tanking your division.
Yeah, I see that is a pretty niche case, but I could see that.
I could see
happening again.
I will say I can only see one person in this league doing it, and
You
that's
say me?
Yeah,
For real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think
I
Kyle
don't.
tanked for a long
What-
time.
Yeah, I don't want to do what I did
Kyle
again.
hated it kind of by the end of it. He was so sick of it. I don't believe he'll do that. Like, how long? 4 years? Like, I don't see it. Unless you
No, I'm not saying
somehow-
you're gonna do it this year. I'm just saying that at some point, when Kyle tanks again, and hopefully this league lasts for a long, long
Right.
time, and
Here's
it'll
the
happen.
question.
I could see Kyle
has
doing
a
it.
child or Kyle tanks again. Which one's happening first?
God, I hope I tank again, bro.
What are the 2 options? Kyle tanking or what?
He has a child.
I don't know.
I mean,
That's
I already had a child before. I
interesting
think,
question.
Kyle's a very
It's one good
promiscuous guy, so
Yeah, how do we not know it? He might already have some.
All right, what if
Uh,
we
so,
just institute a rule that you're supposed to make the most favorable division
And-
your best ability? You know,
and
like
so to be honest, Alec, that's exactly why I came up with that pot comment of like teams. But
Right.
then that's just again, it's kind of like group think. So
But like you can tell.
collaborative way.
Yeah, you're right,
I
Alec.
think you would be able to tell if someone is trying to intentionally stack their
We'll just-
Okay,
division
yes.
in this way.
I'll just
if
throw
your
up.
101 is okay, let's say
Just like
Paul,
just have some
Paul's-
goodwill.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
just throw in a commish discretion or something when we make the
Would
rule.
that
I
even matter?
promise I won't
Like,
do
No,
it.
I think it's
actually
just,
think that if the whole point is that the people get to draft, if you want to do that, that actually seems like it should be completely fine.
I mean,
But
that's why we
then it
would
just
need to
adds in
create
a
a rule
layer.
that you can't do that because I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, I think it just adds in a layer of strategy with your drafting then, because you're already drafted your rookie draft, and then how you would trade after that at the last week or even mid-season just is like, okay, well, I'm waiting longer. Maybe it increases this player's value or it decreases. It's just a gamble.
I think at the end of the day, whatever we do, it's with the express purpose of making our schedules more fair. So everything
100%.
that we're trying to do
Yeah.
should be with that goal in mind. And that's why if we're going to do a draft, we should have a rule where you're supposed to draft in a way that's leading towards fairness in schedule. And
What
I
if
think
someone really
that'd be
dumb
fine.
drafts?
I think it just makes. I think it'd be maybe more fun to draft. I think that would be the biggest thing for me if there was a reason to do it. I think
The biggest reason I think to draft is because we do actually know, generally speaking, like, oh, this team's probably going to be tanking. There's more risk of that. We know that this team, they're going to be trading all their picks to, compete this year. Like, we have a general sense of how teams are actually going to play next year that isn't reflected in pure numbers for this year. So, like, points for this year don't necessarily reflect what points for next year are. But we probably know better as individuals within the league which teams are on the rise, which are dropping, etc.
I mean, we could always just do everyone ranks every team 1 to 12, and then we have the schedule builder build it off of that.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't think
I
that'd be
brought
bad.
that up actually. We poll everybody on what they think the points for rankings will be next year.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good
Certainly
idea.
an option.
Yeah. Okay, we'll talk
it
about
is
it some
fun.
more.
The
There's
draft-
some interesting
ultimately-
options.
Ultimately,
Any
there's
option
no
that
perfect way.
provides more content, I think people are always in favor of, and the
Fair.
draft obviously does that. So.
Yeah.
And it
Oh,
would
you
be a
want
nice
to talk
piece
about
of
it off
content.
the air, Paul?
What's up?
It seems like you wanted to say something that you might not want to say on the podcast about Zach's idea.
No.
We're being real today. This
Like,
is a
I
real
actually,
podcast.
You're allowed to call things gay on this podcast. I asked.
Oh my
Alec
gosh,
if he
that's
wanted
not
to
what I
do
thought.
Wow, I need to mute him.
completely-
Although I agree.
So,
We're getting demonetized.
all right, let's move on. We have some more to talk
We're
about.
doing
as
well on
far
our
as
list.
One more thing, Paul. Sorry.
Yeah.
Regarding scheduling, I don't necessarily think this. I'm not huge on this idea, but my sister's fiance in his league, drafts the schedule in a way that sets up matchups at certain points in the year. I wonder if people would be entertained by a finals rematch in week 1, or setting up some sort of likely playoff seeding deciding matchups in week 14 or week 13 or something like that. I don't know how much work that would be. Probably more than it's worth, but
My
that
first
league,
instinct
I've
is
seen
I
other
don't want to
leagues.
do that, especially because I don't
Ad
want to
talk.
add.
Comment if you think Paul's being lazy. Feel free to comment.
It's not even. Well, it is partially about laziness, obviously here, but also I don't want to insert myself into something that should be more objective. So.
Well, it would not be it would not change who you're playing or how many times you're playing them. It would just be when you're playing them in the year,
Sure.
which certainly can change things. Like, I don't know if you might want a harder matchup early in the year or something. I don't know, but I think some of that stuff can be pretty entertaining.
I mean, the NFL does it that
Okay.
way. They make their schedules not just because of fairness, but they also, have the element of entertainment.
Yeah.
But
You should do a flex schedule, Paul, where week by week you can, based on what's most exciting, you can
Ooh,
enter in the schedule.
first
I
6
think it'd be
weeks.
exciting if Kyle and I switched our matchups this week.
You're a salt. Oh, you were so salty. So
I just
salty.
think you and Austin should have to battle it out for the last seed here. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Alec, which teams have a losing record with Kyle's record, or with Kyle's schedule?
With
There
Kyle's
can't be that
schedule.
many. Like I think Zach's team is like
Oh,
11-2 or something with Kyle's schedule.
No, I had so many bad weeks. I lost Stephen Shane, bro.
I think you're like 11-2 or 10-3 with Kyle's schedule. Swear to God.
Really?
Oh God, it's not going to be happy with you.
Yeah,
Paul.
wait.
Go
Can we
ahead,
pull it
Alex,
up?
tell
Let
him.
me see if I
Oh,
can pull
God,
it
I
up.
don't know if you have it.
Episode.
I'm looking at a different website for what I was calculating earlier.
Does Sleeper
Um,
Companion have it?
If
No,
we're
it's
drafting
on.
our divisions next year, people better watch out because my quarterback situation could turn around with Deshaun Watson coming off of IR. So
I never should have dropped him. Although I just found what he did so deplorable. Want that on record.
All right,
You still would have started him.
hashtag I support women.
Hashtag France.
Save Paris. Hashtag.
Paris.
All right,
Where's that
let's
from?
see. So, how does this work? Oh, this is league play.
Like-
1 second.
Yeah. With the other team.
You would be 9-4 with Kyle's schedule, Zach.
Hilarious.
Kyle, actually, with your
I guess
schedule,
I
I
have-
lose an extra
Oh
game.
my god.
I actually have, yeah. I was
Kyle's
gonna say,
schedule
I
on
do think my schedule has effed me in terms of like when I've played people and how I've scored.
You have the worst schedule, 100%.
But that's okay because I wasn't really going anywhere this year anyway. With how bad some of my people performed.
Yeah, and you probably weren't making the playoffs with most of the schedules, anyways. But you were definitely performing better. 7-6,
Well, the thing is, if
7-6.
I thought I was closer, I probably would have made more aggressive trades. But instead, I kind of went the other direction.
I mean, I think we were talking about this earlier today a little, but I actually think you had an opportunity to go for it, like earlier on, where you're closer to, when you're closer to Todd in points for. I don't remember all. Alec,
Yeah.
you must have been further up in the standings at that time or
Oh.
something.
I tried to go for Mahomes. I thought about trying to trade for Lamar. Adcock didn't want picks, and Kyle and I were battling it out for Mahomes and went with Shane's offer. So, I don't know. It's whatever. Jack wouldn't trade me Igbuka. Honestly, kind of good.
Thank
I offered
God.
like 3 firsts for him, and he denied it. So
Thank
I'm
God.
actually fine with that now. Happy in retrospect. But yeah, losing Kraft and Barkley being terrible and Tua being just unreal bad. Like, I don't know. I would have had to do a lot to make it up this year, and I don't know if that would actually been good for me. Because all the other thing is like, your team is insane. Andrew's team is insane. Like, even if my team was good, I could beat you in the playoffs. Definitely could. Like that anything happens week to week. I don't even think it would have been likely, even if my team was like.
It's never
even if I felt
likely.
really good about it.
It's never likely, but it is about trying to,
Yeah,
punch
and
them
I've
out
done
of
that in
the
the
ticket.
past years, so it's okay. I'm
Yeah.
not too upset about it.
I mean, one of these years, so what? Okay, so I've made the playoffs every single year. I'm making it for a 5th year. I'm betting on making it for the next 2 years. Will I win a championship in the first 8 years of our fantasy league?
I'm hoping not.
7 years. 8. I do not know. I do not know. I'm just really hoping that I don't have to play Andrew week 2 of the playoffs. That would be tragic.
I'm rooting
Paul,
for Todd.
I am scared of playing so many people in the playoffs, so just keep that in mind.
I mean, it's pretty much at this point guaranteed that Todd is like in, right? He's just guaranteed in now.
No,
Pretty
right?
No.
Wait, is
Wait,
he?
hold
No,
on.
he's
Oh.
not.
Okay, wait, hold
He's
on.
not
If
guaranteed in.
Sam loses,
Sam
No.
wins.
Sam would have to.
Sam has to win.
I'm not even guaranteed.
yeah. So if Alec loses and Sam wins, then it's just like whoever between Todd and Alec PF.
Alec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But that creates
if
an
Sam
interesting
loses, then
situation
Todd is like guaranteed. Wait, who's
because
Sam
I have
playing?
60 PF on
Sam's
Todd,
playing Todd. I
which
feel like
would
there's no
mean
way Todd
that
loses that.
Sam needs to have
Yeah.
an insane game, and Todd needs to have an insane game, but Sam wins the game.
Well, you
Because
could just have a really
Todd,
bad week.
yeah, I could have a really bad week, and then I guess there needs to be a 60-point gap between Todd and I, and
Yeah.
he needs to lose, which is
That's true.
weird.
That does make it difficult. Yeah. That does make it
Yeah,
difficult.
I think that means I would be very surprised if Sam beats Todd this week, but
Honestly, I
Stranger
wouldn't
Things.
like.
I mean, without
It's
Eric
not
Wilson,
impossible.
Yeah,
Can
I mean,
he?
obviously Todd's the favorite, but
I mean Sam's just sold like so much.
he sold a lot. Yeah,
He does have like random pop off people though,
Yeah.
and Todd's team has like been liable to have like a little bit of an egg lay. But now that Rice is back, I feel like he's gotten a few people. People were unhealthy, and now they're pretty healthy. I think he's like gonna be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I just think. Oh, he's putting Herbig in that linebacker.
I'll be right back.
I mean, like, yeah, anything can happen in this league. I'm seeing a lot of guys who have high variance on his on the defensive side. So, you have a few pop off weeks, and boom, Todd's
Few
out of the
sacks,
playoffs.
interceptions.
Yeah. You back, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm on my phone for a sec.
Okay.
You talking to us from the bathroom?
Okay.
Time for an ad read. Let's do an ad read.
Oh my god. Could I hear you fucking pissing.
Mute him.
Aquafina. Guaranteed to get you hydrated.
Guys, I don't edit
How do
these,
you edit it?
so please shut the fuck up.
Can we get a video clip in the podcast if I turn on my camera, Paul? It's actually a pretty good light
You
yellow.
could just send in the one of the poop coming out of your butt.
All right, I'm done.
Is this
I'm
what we
shaking it
wanted?
out.
Well, is this what
Yeah.
we wanted?
Yeah, well,
Alec,
it's
I
getting
think-
uploaded
did Alec ever
regardless,
get
so
that
When the
video?
whole
I don't even care.
podcast is talking about how lucky I'm gonna be, I'm gonna piss all over you guys.
Did Alec ever get that video, Kyle, or was he not?
Okay,
part
we
of that?
don't need to talk
No one
about
even
that
wants
video.
to watch that video.
Anyways,
Pretty gross video. I'm saying that.
Okay, so basically, okay, fuck it, we're moving on.
I'm
Non-playoff
back.
teams. Okay, so I guess
Oh wait, I have more. I have more. I have
5
more.
through 7 is still in flux, but then we have.
I have more. I have more to talk about.
All right.
All right, what do you got? What do you got for us?
Actually, Paul said he didn't want to play Andrew in the second round. I don't know if that's possible for him to play Andrew in the second round.
Well, we reseeded.
Because of reseed?
Andrew can't be below 4. correct me if I'm
Why can't he be below 4?
I could be 5 at worst.
Oh, could you?
I could overtake
Alex
Andrew.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, I take it back.
Yeah.
Never mind. All right, moving on.
Glad we.
Well,
sorted
actually,
that
I think
out.
that's a good topic, though, is who is
Oh
the
my
team that you don't
God.
want to play?
Can
I
we
don't wanna
follow
play
the
Andrew.
itinerary, please?
I'm pretty pleased. I was like, sorry, but I was rooting very much against Andrew getting the additional bye. Really hoping he loses in the first round. Every
No,
single time
I-
he'll lose.
Is that because you're scared to play him, or is that because you just don't want him to be able to win 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
I don't care about
In
the
a row.
3. It's not in a row, right? It's
No.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Paul
Or, sorry,
Sickle.
this would be back to back, but a
Yeah,
third time.
yeah. I mean, I'm just sick of seeing him in the playoffs and losing because I've never even made the finals, man. Like my team should have made the finals one of these years. Even if I lost.
You're
So,
the villain, Andrew. You're the
yeah.
villain.
You're the villain. You're the villain.
No, I don't want the Alec revenge game. That's what I don't want. So if I get to Paul, I get to Paul. But right now, I'm trying to avoid seeing Alec in that 4-5, which is set up right now based on the standings.
Could be the revenge game.
I know. TJ Watt 0, and here we go.
Well, I'm also
I just had to
probably-
wait 4 years for TJ Watt to be out of his prime for this moment.
Kyle, who do you not want to see right now out of any of the current playoff teams, assuming Todd, like even Todd?
I would probably rank who I'd want to play. Gut reaction. In order. I'd rather play Austin, Todd, Alec, you. Probably
Okay.
from wanting to
You
play.
hear that,
League
Austin?
play.
You're a fraudulent 2 seed right now, Austin. Kyle's
Austin.
called you out.
I'm
Both
trying to
seeds are
become a more
fraudulent.
fraudulent 2 seed.
Well, yeah, actually, it's funny because all the talk about Kyle we have right now, but like Austin's not as fraudulent, but like he's a little fraudulent for sure.
He was on a heater for a while, and then his team kind of leveled off.
Yeah, let's see.
I mean,
it.
he was winning, but
He was like,
he wasn't winning due to insane performances.
Yeah, league play is 6th highest, right ahead of Kyle. So that's not great. But I think
actually
that
is great.
outside of
I'd rather be
Kyle,
us.
all the potential playoff teams, well, outside of Sam now, I guess, they're all pretty strong. Like you don't really want to play each other at all. So, like even going against Austin, I'm very aware that.
Yeah, I'm not.
You
I
can-
wouldn't like feel confident against us.
Yeah, I'd feel pretty confident against Kyle, but that's about it. So. And I'm
See
really
you,
hoping
17
Sam sneaks in there too. Sorry, Sam.
I think everyone 3 through 6 would be more than happy if Sam won this week and stole that playoff spot.
And
Going against a husk of a roster.
Honestly, it'd be kind of
Agreed.
funny. It'd be like, hey, what's that movie? That's with Cleveland, right? Where the owner wants to sell, and then they try to win.
Major League?
Yeah,
Are you talking
Major
about
League.
Major
It's
League?
Major League.
yeah.
You hear that, Sam? You're the major league. Your team still wants to compete.
So I'm kind of rooting for the narrative if I'm not going to win.
Anyone on his roster who needs glasses? I don't know.
Charlie Sheen.
All right, moving
What's the
on.
next topic?
Can we move on?
Non-playoff teams. What? Or should we? Where are we at? We've been talking for
I
30.
think that's where you're at.
No, I'm just wondering if
Oh,
we
we
should
got
skip
like
it.
we
and
got
go to
hours
LB.
left.
We
We
got
got hours
left.
left.
All right, fine. Non-playoff teams. Let's say outside the top 7 here. What do you guys think they should do? What moves they should make? Either this off season or rest of the season before the trade deadline, maybe in the draft.
I don't really think there's much options right now. Like, Shane is gonna tank for at least 2 more years. Jack, I think, wants to be good. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know that he's gonna. I think he's gonna draft stuff. I don't necessarily think he's gonna sell his picks for other people, but maybe at the beginning of next year he will a little bit.
I have a suspicion
His
Jack
team has like
will.
the bones of being like pretty good.
He'll
needs
love
a
some
lot on,
guys
like-
in the draft.
He needs
for
a lot
sure.
on D. He needs a lot on defense.
Yeah. He does fall in love with guys in the draft for better or for worse. So I definitely see him making his picks.
I don't know.
In a weird way, I think Jack is the most likely to make a wide receiver for running back kind of trade, though.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, I mean, yes, the way he values players, but I'm saying
No, I
like,
think he would. I just he
yeah,
doesn't want to
knowing the person versus looking at the team.
2, he doesn't want to respond to anybody. I have a couple trades that have been queued up with Jack for like a month and a half now.
Were they good trades though?
I mean, they're fine. One was just
Fine.
like Mafe for Chase Young. He wouldn't even respond to me. They're like, some of them are just nothing.
What the fuck is a Mafe for Chase Young trade?
I think both are like talented but underperforming. Chase Young probably I think is less valuable than Mafe right now. Although he's actually put together like a sack run the last few weeks. I did
He's
this
got the name
4 weeks
value.
ago before the sack run. Just want to say.
I was just looking at Mafe. Like, what's he done this year?
Nothing.
offered him,
He's
like-
been really bad.
Yeah.
His pressure rate and things like that have been high, but his sack has been really bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
nothing.
Another Minnesota grad disappointing me. Brosmer, making me sad.
Oh my god, that was brutal.
Was brutal.
I'd be on suicide watch if I was him,
Like-
dude.
I mean, I don't think anything will top Peterman, but yeah.
That pick 6 he threw was like one of the most like
That was
tragic
comical.
throws I've ever seen in my life.
It was comical. It was like a kid, just like
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I'd be
It just
crying.
made me
on the
think
sideline.
like even the people who are unbelievably talented go to the NFL and they're just like out of their depth immediately.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes me
back
think
to the
like any of
topic,
us could do
All
that.
right, guys.
Mike though with James Cook could you do like a pick plus a not like a tier 2, maybe tier 3 wide receiver for Cook. Just saying.
I don't think like if I'm personally if I'm trading somebody like Cook, like a top end.
Well, with a
high-end
pick,
running
it
back.
depends on what pick is.
Sure, but like I don't really value like these like little add-ons so much.
No,
like,
I guess it.
tier
I
two,
guess
tier
how
Yeah,
I'm
just give me
saying is
two
like,
firsts. Give me one mid first and one late first, and
give me one
Yeah,
first
he's off my
and
team.
7
Absolutely
second
needs-
rounders.
I think Cook is like a 2 first player.
Well,
Cook is the
I
most
don't
valuable player in his
disagree with
roster,
that.
right?
I'm-
There's no more
Yeah, for
valuable
sure.
Cook on his roster, is there?
I would
I
Bo
guess
Nix.
I'm saying like when I say tier 2, I don't mean
I
like
think Nix is more valuable than Cook.
He's a QB.
Could be.
I don't think so.
I
think
should
he's
more
more
so say that like
I mean,
wide
is he more
receiver
valuable as a
13 to
scoring
24.
threat? No.
Do you think anyone in this league is paying 2 firsts for Bo Nix?
Do you think
There's
that
like 5 teams in this league that I think would pay 2 firsts for Cook if they had them.
I 100% agree with what you're saying, but I don't think that you would trade away Bo Nix for a single first. I don't think you would trade away Bo Nix for a first and second. So maybe just to say that there isn't really a market for Bo Nix right now. He's just kind of a hold.
Yeah, I think people are starting to be a little more out on him this year, I would say. Right? I think there's like a little is he actually good type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
he's
don't
probably
think
like,
that-
especially
I think
for
he's
Mike,
gonna be this.
he's
I
just
guess
such a
kind of
clear
the same
hold,
way-
right?
Kind of the same way with Caleb.
I was gonna say Stroud. He could go
Yeah,
the
or
Stroud
Stroud,
or
yeah.
Caleb route.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think he's in jeopardy of losing his job. So that's the most important thing. But I don't think he's necessarily seen as like the premier moving forward asset that he probably was at the end of last year.
I mean, even last year, there was a lot of question marks around him, despite the stats. So I'm not surprised by the discourse this year either. But I think it's
Yeah, if I
like
was
as
Mike,
clear
I
of a
would-
hold as you can get for Mike's roster right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't really. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I don't really think there's much for Mike to trade like right now. Like he has.
No, I mean, I think there's guys for him to trade. Like, okay, guys, if you're Mike, like,
Well,
I think trading
no
Cook
one-
makes sense. I think, like, as far as like the defensive guys, I mean,
Franklin
Franklin
and
makes a
all
lot
and
of sense to
other
trade.
stuff that he's been like
yeah.
kind of putting on the market, but not really all year. I think he just has to accept less than what he wants.
Well, for Franklin.
Yeah, and or like the Cincy Hendrickson or
Yeah, Hendrickson, I'm surprised he hasn't traded by now. Like, I feel like that would have made a lot of sense for him to trade as well.
he's been out though.
Is he supposed to even come back this year?
I thought
Yeah,
he
he
was
might not.
originally. Is he not anymore?
I mean, since he's not in the running for the playoffs, he doesn't
Yeah,
have a
that's a good point.
contract.
Yeah, but he's still got to
Yeah,
be
it
worth
looks-
something to
yeah.
somebody, right? Is it better to wait one more year, or is it better just trade? Like, you could.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just more saying, is he going to play again this year with
Sure,
all of that
Sure.
in mind?
But in general, I think it makes sense to trade him because, like, when's Mike's
It
window
definitely makes sense to trade him.
opening up? Like, a couple years maybe. And Hendrickson's probably not going to be there for the next window. Zaire Franklin either. Like, I don't think these like good. I mean, Zaire's had a fall off this year, right? And these kind of like good but not elite, like the elite linebackers, they can last into their 30s, but like the Zaire Franklins of the world don't tend to, is what I think.
Yeah, when
Also,
you're
when we
reliant
bought him-
on being on a bad defense that's out there a lot, or the system, you can have a lot of variance.
Yeah,
Did everyone cut out, or did my internet go out?
I'm here.
I hear you.
I think it was the internet.
Okay. Everyone like Alec and Andrew said something, and then I heard nothing for like 5 seconds.
All right, let's look at Adcock's team. We can look
Yep.
at his picks to start.
Yeah, that'd be my biggest one. I feel like he just needs to actually go for it.
4 firsts, 2 seconds,
Is that like,
and
Trade for
then
some guys, right?
yeah,
3 other
I mean,
future
like,
firsts.
don't have to right now, obviously, but like going
The
into next
problem is
year.
there's just not a lot of people who want to like sell. Like, I don't know. I would trade stuff to Adcock if he wanted it. I don't think he wants. I think he's scared that his window isn't actually now. Like earlier in the year when like he was talking about his receivers, like he didn't want to go in because his receivers were underperforming, and so he didn't actually think that he had a window because his team was underperforming, which I think was rather astute
Hmm.
and ended up being an accurate assessment. But yeah, I mean, well, starting roster right now looks ridiculous because I think he has like multiple injuries. But
I mean,
Uh,
Lamar and Walker are certainly in win now mode.
I
at
mean,
his
I see
roster.
no reason why he can't compete for the playoffs
oh,
next
I
year.
think he should be able to
So-
for sure. I like his receiving core is good. Like London, Wilson, and Ayuk if Ayuk ever gets healthy. But
He had Kyron.
Um,
Kyron was in a win now window.
yeah, ended up being probably not a great trade for him. But I think like he has enough assets, he can do whatever he wants, to be honest. Like he needs Jaden Daniels to hopefully recoup like his form. He has like 7 quarterbacks, none of whom anyone wants to trade for. Like, I don't know. He totally could go for it. I just don't know that he necessarily like feels confident that he can or should.
Yeah, I'm curious if he
guess.
makes. I think he's going to have the most interesting offseason by far. Is it going to be him trading the picks, or is it going to be him making those picks? I don't know, but I am very curious. Like, I think we all view him as this like contender, and we viewed him as a contender going into the year. But then obviously we had a huge fall off, and now he's contending for the 102. However, the bones of the team are still there, and all the assets of the like he still has all this draft capital. So
It's an interesting year to have a 102 because Love seems like he's 100% going to be the 101, and
Right.
then it's like I don't really even know who's going
But-
second. Mendoza maybe, but he's
Let's just
probably-
talk about the possibility, though, of a trade out from 101. Who's going to be the person to trade up for that? Right
I don't
here.
think Shane's gonna give that at all.
I don't think.
I
Shane
mean, I
would
know
give
he's
up.
a Notre Dame fan, but like,
Holy crap! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that okay. I'm just saying right now, like 0%.
I would give it 10. Depends on the
I
offer.
mean, I think he'd need like
I just don't see Adcock
Like
making
3
some
firsts.
monster offer either.
I don't think it'd be smart to do that. Yeah.
Well, the 102 though, trade back 1 pick with an additional like mid 1. Let's just call it.
I don't think it'd be
I don't
smart
think
for
he would do
Adcock
it.
to
I think
sign.
he'd need like a first and like 2 seconds to trade back from it. Shane loves Notre Dame, and Love is like I think clearly the best. Am I wrong?
No, I think
No,
that's
you're totally right.
At this
Yeah,
point in
like, I
time,
think he's like clearly head and shoulders the most sure thing like fantasy asset coming into this season.
Yeah,
I have been hearing that he's more of like an Omarion Hampton level prospect than a Bijan level prospect, though.
Yeah, I think
The
I think
draft
he's gonna
cap's
shoot up
definitely
boards. I've
gonna
heard a
show
lot
out
that
here.
he's like
Yeah.
I've heard a lot that he's more on like a Gibbs type, closer to a Gibbs level than people might think. Like in terms of like, because what Gibbs was the same draft as Bijan, right? But he was thought of as
Correct.
lesser.
Yeah, and then
I think
Gibbs
if
people
people are
thought
high on him.
was gonna be further down in the first, and then got drafted quite highly. So
What was he, a 12th pick?
I can't remember, but was he the
Yeah.
12th?
It was.
pick?
I'm just saying. I think he could go higher than people think. I don't know if that matters that much for fantasy. I think fantasy.
I think
wise,
it
he's
does
gonna be
matter a lot,
101
but I think he
regardless.
probably just gets drafted 101 regardless, unless he drops.
For sure,
quite a
for
bit.
sure.
But like, if he's like a top 15 pick, then he's viewed a lot differently by the fantasy community than if he's like the 30th pick or something. Well, if he's the 30th pick, maybe he's going to like a good team.
Yeah. So you're saying like Brees Hall versus Bijan?
Yeah. Probably not Bijan, but like Brees Hall versus like Gibbs, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like I don't think people think he's that level of prospect either. Like
I also had my own team bias on the top of my head, so hand up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bijan's pretty good. Bijan's pretty good.
All right, let's
Yeah, I
move
don't
on
think
to the
he's supposed
next
to be
team.
that
Huh?
good, but I think he's definitely supposed to be better than like Brees Hall by like quite a bit.
All right.
Like if he was in this last year's draft,
I think him and Janty would be
I
around
think
the
he would have
same.
been like behind Genty, but not by a lot, I guess.
Yeah,
is
I
what
think
I'd
it's actually
say.
really interesting to see where he would fall in the current running backs, but I mean Genty's clearly ahead. And
I
then
mean, he hasn't done
it's-
well this year.
Who
But
knows?
it's
Well,
I mean,
Raiders
who
are
cares?
so
I don't necessarily
bad.
think that's him. I think that's largely the Raiders. so.
Yeah, I'm fine with Genty. All right, next team. What should Zach do? Zach,
Hold
so
on to
you
all the
have.
players he loves.
I think Kyle should start. Kyle, you should tell me.
Well, okay.
You
First
go
off,
first.
Zach, I really thought you had more first. So you have. Oh no. Okay, so you have 5 firsts.
I
Gotcha.
have 5. Yeah.
And so those
I have
two are
5,
from
1
the
second,
Jacobs
like
trade,
4 thirds, and
Yeah.
like 8 fourths or something. I don't know.
and no
2
seconds.
firsts for Bo Nix and another 2 firsts for Purdy, and you'll be set, dude.
No interest in Knicks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting at this point in the year. Like, I feel like there's not that much you can do.
Yeah, it's a little hard. But all the trades, we're at the trade deadline, but I think everybody's kind of spent their.
Everyone's
picks,
tapped
right?
out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm buying, but I've told Zach like all of today that like a lot of the more rental pieces are like so much cheaper than the I don't know tier 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, if he
so
can
I
get
feel
Eric
like
Wilson for a 4th, I think that's 100% worth it for him.
I just think it's hard at this point. There's not a lot of like really, really willing buyers, and so it'd be like, what can you do going into next year? Like I'm watching Paul's screen, so I don't know if you like scrolls I go. Like I'd sell Barkley 100%. I'd sell.
I'm not gonna sell Barkley on a dip. That's so stupid. Barkley
Yeah,
is
I
like,
don't think it's stupid, but
why?
I'd sell. I mean, it's just like
What would you give me? Okay, so like right now, you decline Barkley for a 1st in 2 seconds. You would give me what? A 1st and like a 3rd for Barkley?
I mean, you don't need to sell him to me right now. I'm just saying at some point, I think he'd be smart to sell.
I think I'd be smart to sell. Okay, this is if Barkley has another bad year next year, then I
It's gonna be
mean,
worth like
I
nothing.
guess I'm probably
Yeah, I
screwed.
mean, Barkley
but
has a
I
bad year
think
next
I
year.
probably could still.
How much
I
do you think
still
you're
could
selling
probably
him
get a-
for?
I could probably still get a 1st out of him next year, even if he starts the year slow. I
No
guess is what
way.
I'd say.
No, okay, if he starts the year slow and you sell mid-season.
Early in the year, he starts the year slow.
Yeah.
I could get like a single.
Yeah, so someone tries to be opportunistic,
Yeah,
they give you a
exactly.
first.
Yeah, I can see a
I
first.
think I could definitely get a 1st for him next year, almost regardless of circumstance other than like catastrophic injury. If I sell
And then if
right
he turns
now,
it around and he has like a CMC / Barkley level season, then
then
he
I'm
could
back
be
up to
back
like
up
the
to
2
2.
first price.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
I don't
also,
It's like-
Zach, there's no way that if Barkley starts off slow, that you sell him for a single first.
I probably won't want to do that because I love him. And I think he's gonna be, yeah. But my point is that there's no reason to sell the dip right now or in the off season. Like that just seems stupid to me because he's actually an S tier talent. Like if he was someone who I was like not convinced was like that good, like I don't know.
I'm with you. I actually think that a 1st in 2 seconds, what you were talking about with Kyle, is a good price for Barkley even right now. But
I think I am betting on his talent to have a bounce back year, similar to how like Henry did. I mean, obviously people talk about how many carries he had last year being a factor. I think it probably is a little, but to be honest, I think the Eagles' offense is just an effing mess. And
Yeah, he doesn't
line
look
is
bad to
so much
me.
worse this year.
I probably watch more Eagles games than anyone else, and he doesn't look bad to me. I think the Eagles just look bad.
I agree. I don't think he gets hit behind the line so effing much. I don't think he looks bad. I just think he's probably slightly regressed, and I think the line has regressed immensely, and the offensive play calling and structure has been horrible. So, yeah, I don't want to trade Waddle or Devonta or Barkley really, but I would trade Barkley for like a decent price. I love Waddle and I love Devonta, and I don't think I would fetch the sum I want, so I probably will just hold them. They're also young enough that it's fine.
Here's a question
Yeah.
for you. Since I was the one who sold them to you, Pittman, what would it take right now?
Oh, I
Let's
got
say
some
like
offers in my
2
inbox.
seconds or like a first.
Okay, so yeah, his value went
Maybe a
up, and
first
not
with,
like
I give a little
exorbitantly.
bit. I could give
Yeah,
like a slight amount back, maybe,
yeah,
depending on what it is. He's definitely outperformed what I bought him for, I think.
agreed.
Granted, the Colts have started to regress a little bit, so people that scares people. I could see it maybe not being.
Yeah, I mean, what did you buy him for? Oh, a second and a third. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
if I
thought that was
see
a good
like
buy.
a first for Pittman
No,
happening,
I don't think at 27, 28, whatever it is.
I
but
think that I don't think that's necessarily wrong. I think I would be hesitant to take a first for Pittman. If it's a late first, it depends on what you're doing. If you like really need a receiver going into the playoffs, and I throw like something back on it, I don't think it's bad. But I definitely think 2 seconds is reasonable for him right now.
yeah, I just think like
All the trade calculators say a first is fine, but I'm just
yeah, yeah, we've
no,
moved
it's
past.
fine.
I feel like the
I don't
league
mind
has
that.
moved on from. I mean, everybody uses the trade calculators. I'm sure. Like you guys all plug them in when you're like looking at trades, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
assume.
think it's common nature to just look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a reassurance at the end of the day.
Yeah, but then like at sometimes they're just so bad as far. Like I think they're great tools, but they don't seem so accurate for our league. I would say as far as fair trades go.
No, but sometimes I think it just comes back to like, okay, I just need that like personal reassurance. I think this is the fair offer. How much is it saying that it's under, over, fair, whatever? So
Yeah, no, for sure. But at the same time, like I could never see anyone trading a first for Pittman of any type.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I don't
Pittman
think it'll
needed.
happen.
So if you click on him again,
Yeah.
if if Pittman week like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like if he and then he followed it with 3 by 11 by 3. If he if he had kept more of the teens, right? He's still wide receiver 13 right now or something.
Well,
So
actually,
he's,
this kind of brings up the question: why didn't you sell him here-ish? 7, 8, 9.
I think at that point I still wasn't convinced that I was out of it. But I'm not 100% sure.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
At
I mean, you
point,
bought him when you bought him when you thought you were in it, and then he started doing well. That's 100%.
Yeah, I can look at it. So I bought him October 7th, so it probably would have been week
6.
5 or 6. Yeah. And then he did well for 3 weeks. What was week 9?
It's okay, we don't have to go through it, but and then maybe we're talking I mean, I would say, I mean, I know there's been some discussion around this, but Burns and Cashman seem like solid sells. Burns is probably the most interesting one to talk about. Because I was interested in Burns, having a DL hole in my roster.
Yeah.
But I mean, the guy's a beast, obviously, and he's been playing really well this year. So, it's a hard thing to sell, especially 27, still young.
Yeah, Burns is one I would not be feeling super pressured to sell compared to some other ones.
For sure.
I mean, everything I hear out of Zach just sounds like you want to be in a retool and not a rebuild. And I think that's totally fine with some of the pieces that you have on your team.
To be honest, I almost feel like I have too many. It's why is my team not better? I feel like I have too many assets to be in a straight rebuild.
Yeah, you'd have to sell a lot.
I'd have to sell a lot, and I don't really want to do that. It is hard for me to go into a year being like, you're just not competing this year. I don't like that idea. In my assets, I have enough like draft capital that I still feel good about my position.
Fair. No,
Unless
100% fair.
So like the route, let's just say the route, this is the route for me next year. I essentially don't sell anyone else this year. If I do, it's like middle tier minor people, maybe a linebacker, maybe Pittman, something like that. Let's say that's what I do. So like one or two of those people, if that, maybe none. Like the route for me to rebound and like make the playoffs next season or be like a higher tier team is like, okay, Tua isn't horrible next year. Chuck is like solid and the Saints are a little better. I actually think that one's possible. I also think it's possible Tua is better next year. He's been very bad. But I'm not holding my breath because I'm starting to just think he's kind of like had too many injuries and whatnot.
Yeah, your team might live and
Barkley-
die by the QBs.
Barkley comes back a little bit, which I think actually should happen. Barkley has somewhat of a bounce back, probably not 2,000 yards, but like comes back to his like top 6, 7-ish self. And then I just have like one hit on like the young running backs. So like let's say Henderson actually like keeps going up, and then like one of the other young guys I have actually like pops a little bit.
And you have your
I don't
draft
think
pick,
that's
too.
unreasonable at all.
So,
I think it's like it's a lot of things to happen. And I'd say what's more likely is some of those things happen, some of them don't, and I'm more middle of the pack again. Granted, I have enough assets that if I wanted to go for it next year, I think I could. But more than likely, I would say I'd probably just retool potentially next year.
Just see what happens, right?
Yeah, I think it's it feels weird because maybe I'd be better off if I just went in one direction. Like right now, I'm like the Chicago Bulls. Like every year I'm just
You don't want to be calling yourself the Chicago
sitting
Bulls.
in the middle. I mean, I wasn't a couple of years ago, but for the last 2 years, that's kind of where I've been. I've also had
Because
some
then,
rough
because then
injuries.
that makes you Reinsdorf.
all
Yeah.
right. What about Jack and Shane? Like, I feel like they're kind of maybe similar. Where
I like Shane's positioning quite a bit. He's likely going to have the 101 this year, the next year, maybe the year after that, and that gets you some really good players.
That's funny.
Um,
It's funny to say you like that. I feel like
I'm so
no one
confused
wants to
because
be in
you
that
said
position
so
at
many
all.
times you think Shane
yeah.
is like.
Let me just
not
finish.
stuff.
I like his assets. Like if I'm counting his 101s as assets, he has those few 101s coming in. George Pickens looks like he can be a wide receiver 1 on his team.
Yeah, that's been legit the best. Like I was so down in that trade when it happened. I could not believe he gave Andrew like those assets for that.
And he
then
also has
Pickens
Sam's
was
first round
amazing.
pick next year, and Sam could certainly
Yeah.
be on the lower end
It's true.
in 2027.
It's true.
Yeah, I think he has a good path, and like, he's kind of like I was 2 years ago when I tore it all down. But again, I think most of us would prefer to never be in that position.
Sure.
Yeah, the thing is like when Kyle tore it down, Kyle had like 15 firsts, like over like 3 years, like legitimately.
I don't think I was that
Shane-
much different from Shane.
Really? I feel like it was. I feel like Shane does not have that many. And
He has
he's like
what?
literally sold everything.
It's 7.
Some
that's-
firsts is quite a bit, and they're good firsts.
yeah,
They're
I
good.
mean, having Sam's
Also, Sam's first this year,
yeah, Sam's first this year, which is probably 106,
106.
which
Yeah.
is really solid too. Todd's next year.
Do we need to investigate Shane for paying Sam off to sell his players and get a better draft pick out of it?
I was wondering. I texted Shane yesterday, and I was just asking him like what he thought about Sam, tearing down, rebuilding while he had his picks.
Yeah, I
I
didn't know that. It's more interesting to me now.
yeah, he must. I think he's. I mean, it's got to be pretty interesting because this year you get a top 6 pick probably. Next year you get a top, I don't know, 4 or 5 at least pick probably. Like,
I feel like Sam's gonna try to buy them. But I just don't know who he has that Shane would care about to get them back from him.
I think it's gonna be hard for Sam to buy them
If
just
I was
because.
Shane, I would not want to sell those
Why
at all.
would
I was
you?
trying to
Yeah.
buy the 27 from Shane.
Yeah,
I
like
was
it doesn't
offering him,
make
like,
sense.
he wouldn't sell it to me. I was hopeful that Shane, because he's so unplugged, literally hadn't even known that Sam was selling people. And I almost think he kind of did in at first. But no, it didn't end up going that way. But yeah,
I mean, I think
that was
Shane
like
keeps track of what's going on in the league.
he does a little bit. We
Yeah.
probably don't give him enough credit, but
He's not listening to this. You can say whatever you want.
that's I mean I would be very surprised if he's listening to this.
Hi,
ever.
Shane.
2 hours in.
Yeah, this has been riveting. I feel like everyone's gonna love this one.
Different opinion. I would actually rather have Jack's team.
I agree. I don't think Jackson is actually bad. I think he needs a lot of defense. I think his offense is good.
Defense
Other
is the
than one
easiest
running
part.
back. He needs-
Honestly, it's
he
still
needs
hard,
He needs
but it's
one running back.
the
That's it.
hardest. It's the easiest part. Like, I think both of them are trying to build through the offense, which is absolutely the way to go. I think where you need to get like an elite offense in, and then it's like a lot easier to fill in the defensive holes.
Yeah, you can buy those
He
easier.
doesn't really have a true number one receiver. Like Igbuka looked like he could be this year. I think he was overperforming a little bit as someone who loves him, and I don't necessarily think that's going to continue. But I do think he's like going to be good. I don't know that he'll be like wide receiver 1 type. Williams also probably not wide receiver 1 type, even though I think he's insanely talented. I actually love like half of Jack's players, which like, always has sucked because I've always wanted to trade with him. It never works.
I mean, he has Bowers, Burrow,
I mean, Bauer's obviously awesome. So like,
Dart.
yeah, he actually has like a really good thing, but he doesn't have like a true wide receiver 1. He doesn't have a true running back 1. I mean, Hampton could be.
Yes.
Maybe.
I
I
think yeah,
agree.
Guy is
I-
actually.
I agree 100% with what you're saying, Zach, but I think it's just the fact that it's like he has a QB like insulation already in place for the most part.
Right.
Oh yeah, having Burrow is great.
Yeah, Burrow and Dart's gonna
And
be
Dart
good
has
for
looked
years.
Yeah. What did he get Dart at? 12? 112?
Yeah, I believe so.
112. That's right.
112.
Yeah.
I do like
He needs
seeing.
linebackers. He has
like-
like no linebackers. He has like
I guess
40
the decent
DLs.
ones.
Wilson
Some of
and Cooper are very good, in my
They
opinion.
are. I mean, Wilson was like a really bad health bet coming out of the draft, which is like part of why.
Through
but, I
two
mean,
for
he's been
Cooper.
he's
Really
actually
nice.
been pretty healthy.
Wilson did 309. So he's been making some smart drafting decisions, like later picks for defense. Like that's fine, I think. I just think if you're talking
Yeah,
about
I
like
think he
first
can
and
fill that.
seconds, like
I think he
focus
can
on
fill that out.
offense. Well, JJ McCarthy, always hopeful.
His
I don't
name
think
is
if
9.
you told me Jack was like a 5 seed next year, I would not be like surprised necessarily. Maybe a little.
I'd
but
be
not
surprised
really.
if he's a 5 seed.
Really?
However,
I don't think it'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be crazy either.
The problem.
Yeah,
problem
I
is,
think
like,
it could
there's
happen.
No one.
I'd be
The
shocked.
only person. There's one person who's like clearly. Well, now I guess with Sam kind of too. There's like one person who's clearly tanking. That's Shane. Like, I don't know what Mike is doing next year. I don't know what Adcock is doing next year. I don't know what Jack is doing next year.
Did we talk about
I would
Mike's team?
guess
Okay,
that
yeah,
I
we
would
did.
guess that all
We
of
did
them
talk
want
about
to
Mike
make the
briefly
playoffs.
with Cook. I
So
guess
think
that
all of
was
them want to
before
make the
we
playoffs.
started talking about Mike, though.
Yeah.
I think all of them want to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, no, I think
So then we
Yeah,
have
there's
then we
nobody.
literally
Well-
have 10 teams going for the playoffs.
yeah, 10
This year was
teams.
like that
Weirdly,
already. There was
it's
like almost no one who's tanking, which is why it was a really cool year. Next year, I think it'll be the same thing. I think 2027 people will start again because
maybe.
I think like Austin's team will be older. Like,
I think
some-
you'll
I
only
think a
see
few
like one
people
or
could-
two teams kind of try to tank a year, and maybe
Yeah.
8 to 10, probably like 7 or 8 advisably going for the playoffs, a couple inadvisably going for the playoffs, and then a couple true tankers. Because
Yeah,
just like you
next
guys
year,
have been
I just
saying,
don't. I think there's gonna be like no one.
yeah,
I
I
think
mean, like
everyone's
you
gonna
guys have
be
been saying,
fine.
like nobody really wants to lose. Like tanking sucks, I assume, and
It's honestly relaxing in certain ways. Like it's so little pressure.
Well, yeah, once you commit to it, it's just like, okay, let's just lose. But then the anxiety in the back of your head of, okay, we need to figure it out.
I didn't even really
When's the
have
ship
that.
turning around?
It was honestly just like instead of watching football, I'm watching like Keep Trade Cut Value Simulator. Like
Oh,
I'm less rooting for outcomes and more for value, and I was just like constantly acquiring value.
I could
So
not have
it was
been
kinda
more
nice.
different, Kyle. I was looking for people who were just like actually performing at the time. Like, okay, who like the reason I made the Pacheco trade legitimately was he popped off during the playoffs that year. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. If he was that much of a focal point in the playoffs, we're going to give him another run during the season. So that's why I made that first round trade for him, and I was so adamant about making that trade. So it's just different viewpoints, I guess, is what I'm saying. But
Well, I'd much rather do it the way you did it than the way I did it. So maybe the pressure paid off. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I think there can be something like nice about a full tank.
for
Even
sure.
if you'd rather not do it ever.
And there's always the asterisk on my tank because it was too early to compare with
Yeah, it's
everyone
true.
knowing.
Yeah. But I mean, it was perfect.
Genius timing.
Win
Yeah.
year 1, tank year 2, 101, never miss the playoffs again, win
Hit
another
on
championship.
Bijan.
Yeah. Can't get much better than that.
I'm lucky. I am lucky so far. That's all I have to say. Is I have no actual knowledge, and despite how much I might want to act like it, Kyle, I'm talking to you right now. I don't actually act like I know it, but I act like it. I don't know shit.
Andy tries to piss me off. He bumps receipts in our text messages whenever something happens that aligns with what he said.
And then there's like
makes me
8
angry
other
sometimes.
things where it goes horribly wrong.
All the
I
other
think
receipts
Andrew
get
just
lost
had
in
the
the ether.
benefit of being the first person to tank with Bijan there.
Yep, that's all
You
it
know?
is.
Yeah, he
Everyone-
didn't even
That's all it
tank
is.
that deep.
Yeah.
Everyone was still trying to win at that point, and then Andrew was the first to actually tank for
So
draft position.
So honestly, it comes back to this, where if we're talking about Shane being the only team to actually tank next year, similarities. Just saying.
So to what, you?
Yeah.
So
He
Yeah, but
just
he has
needs to get
nothing on
Puka
his team.
Nacua and
You took a roster that had like actually good players.
So
Yeah,
Shane
well-
is actually going to be the 5th seed next year, not Jack.
So things can change in 2 years, is all I'm saying.
You hear that, Shane? Low
There's
key,
a
I'd probably
light
pull
at the end
Pickens
of the
if I was
tunnel.
Shane.
Please trade with me, Shane.
All right. We are getting to our last topic of the day, which is linebacker value, which I guess we've talked about a little. I don't even know where to start on this one. I just know that I got a manifesto from Zach today over text.
I typed that to Alec the other day, and he wasn't interested.
What do you mean? What do you mean I wasn't interested?
He said, "What? This is so boring. I don't even want to read all this."
Alec, let
TLDR,
Zach
please.
talk. Let Zach talk, Alec. Oh,
Yeah.
is that Zach? I thought that was Alec.
Yeah, it's funny. I sent that to Kyle and Alec and you, Paul.
I did read
I don't
it.
know. I was just like, instead of just saying the same thing, I might as well just literally copy paste the thing I was telling the other person. Yeah, I don't know. Where do you want to start with this? I'm happy to do whatever.
I have no idea.
I mean, it seems like, from what I remember, what you were saying is maybe a good way to start is like, what is the most valuable linebacker in the league worth in terms of picks?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a good starting point. I mean,
my,
we all
my-
kind of
my big
agree,
point was,
probably.
There's two things. It was like being able to tier people, which I think you can do in any position, obviously, right? Every position has like their tiers. I think linebacker and defense in general is harder. One, because we don't have draft calculators. Two, like there's so many people who can just step into a spot and like pop off, and you're just like, okay, Bethune is now literally just producing like Warner was. Eric Wilson is literally producing like Cashman was. Like, what is this? Is this person now worth the same? Like, Obviously not. So it is a little different. But yeah, I had the whole thing about like how do you judge like production and like what's like the sliding scale between the different factors that allow like for value to exist. So right, I wrote down like production, age, what was it? Reputation / ability. Hold on, I'm just gonna find this. Oh yeah, job security. That's right. And like ability and job security being very linked, because like maybe you come in, you produce, but no one thinks you're very good, and it looks like you're good, but you're actually not good, and your reputation isn't very good. Therefore, your job security is actually kind of bad. Like that's the question I had with like Knight, right? Like he was like a second or a third round pick.
Second
Probably
rounder.
draft capital's high enough that he's going to be decent, or they at least are going to value him enough to keep him playing. But like, is he actually good? Like, could he just, or like Barrett Carter, like, is he really bad? Is he just going to get replaced next year because he actually sucks? Like, even though it seems like he might be doing well, that type of thing.
Barrett Carter, I think,
Um,
is actually bad, but I also think Knight's probably bad right now too. So
Yeah, I think it's
man,
hard when
that
their whole
defense.
defense isn't very like name the really good players on defense. Like the line isn't very good. The secondary isn't super good. There's no like great part of it. So then you bring in like rookie
Geno
linebackers.
Stone?
It makes
Geno
sense that
Stone?
they would do pretty bad. Huh?
Geno Stone? He's the best defensive player on the Bengals, bro.
Yeah. So then from there, like I went to like the whole like, okay, so what are the tiers? And I was like, the first place you start with that is just like, what is the most you would pay? Like that seemed like the easiest thing. I said, I think Campbell is probably the most valuable linebacker right now. I think Olakun like 2 years ago probably was.
Yeah, not
He
now
was
for
just
sure.
ripping off like 400-point seasons.
Yeah, not now for sure. But like Campbell,
Not now for sure.
I
Yeah.
think this is the problem with drafting a linebacker even at the back end of the first, is that even if you hit like maybe he's worth like a 107, 108. Maybe, I'm not even sure if that sells, like that works.
Yeah. Alec essentially said like I probably wouldn't pay it, but I also wouldn't sell him for it. Like less than that, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably true, but that probably means it's like right where his value is. Like, so, like, I think Campbell is probably in that group. I don't know. There's probably like a couple other people I'm just like not thinking of or missing, but like, there's probably just a few, right? There's not very many that are in that range. And so like that's like S tier, right? It's like a late first, or like a mid late first. Like Roquan was supposedly this for Alec for like 6 years. It's always worth that much. 2 seconds, 2/3, something like that. So like what Kyle played for Warner, except maybe a little more. That's like S tier to me. And then I was saying A tier is like 2 seconds and then like plus or minus something. So maybe it's like 2 seconds, send back like a fourth, or you add a fourth. Like my trade with like for TJ Edwards with like
That was me.
with Andrew. Like I think that was actually very good value. I don't think it was unfair value, but I think I got a decent deal, and it was like, and Alec we were talking about it. He's like, it was a seller's market. And I kind of agree. Like Andrew's like trying to go hard in.
Yeah,
Where
like
it's like a
that
few
one I
teams that were competing.
think was I viewed that as an overpay. However, like not a bad trade to make, but still an overpay. I think
Yeah,
that was
I think
probably the
that was
general
like
consensus.
I
Yeah.
was happy with what I got from it. But it also was a situation. It's like that kind of is what I needed to take him from me, because like I had paid, what did I pay for that? I think like a second and 2/3 for him and Sanborn like a year before. And so like 2 seconds and a fourth. I think he was definitely worth 2 seconds considering how well he was playing, and he seemed like there was no reason why he wouldn't be starting the next season, and he had been ripping off 300-point years at that point. So it was like, and I had no plans to not compete next year, right? I wanted to run it back, but I was like, this is good value. I have decent depth at linebacker. I can afford to like take the value here. And so that's what I did. But I don't think I would have wanted to sell for much less than that, because I also was trying to like compete. And so Alec, we differed here, and he was saying, I think the difference between like the S tier people and like the A tier people is like a huge rift, and I think the value is different. Like I don't think that the A tier being 2 seconds plus minus is really exists that much. I disagree. I think there's a decent amount of linebackers in there. That's why I said Gray. Like Gray to me, young. So he's producing. He's like top 5 in production right now. He's young, so age is great. His ability, I don't really know, but he didn't play really last year. So that was like, okay, maybe he wasn't that good. Maybe he's now better this year. But his PFF scores are high.
Yeah, he's a
Like
good tackle
everything
rate.
I've read is that he's at least doing like pretty well. So leads me to believe that his ability is like pretty good. To me, that's like
And he was a fourth rounder,
automatic
which
ace.
isn't
If you're
horrible.
like a second year player producing insanely high and you're getting like good reports on like what you're doing, I feel like that puts you in like a 2-second area to me. Like, why would you give that up?
Yeah, what did he go for? Second and third?
That was a good trade, yeah.
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 I think I like
I think he was worth more than that, considering.
I think a second and a third is perfect.
See, like I
I would have paid a little bit more than that, but I didn't want to jack.
agree.
I don't want to get on Andrew's trade. I wasn't about to try it.
I just think if you're
Try and
drafting a
undermine
second
that.
and a third, like you have a lot of. I mean, you can draft like a Schlesinger in a third, but like probably more like a late second. But like there's plenty of linebackers who've been drafted in the second, like rightfully drafted in the second and rightfully drafted in the third that don't pan out too. Like
Yeah,
it
strikes me
feels
very
like
much as
coin
a
flip getting somebody equal, maybe.
Yeah.
yes.
It's been very hit or miss, and it's kind of scary. But yeah, if you hit on that guy, like if you get 2 seconds or someone and you hit on the dude who's like you're paying 1 second for, like obviously it feels awesome. If you don't, then obviously it feels bad. So yeah, so then I said B tier is like a second and a third ish, plus or minus some assets, and that's where I said like Quincy when I was talking to you about that before, and I would say that evaluation. I didn't really go into this with you very much. That was more before the season. So when I bought him from Sam, I think it was Thibodeau and Tracy is what I paid for him. I was kind of hoping to get a little more than that, but I kind of thought Thibodeau was going to tank this year, so I kind of just wanted to get rid of him. And Tracy was like, I didn't know what the heck to do with that. I kind of just wanted, I wanted to, I thought he was worth a second-ish, and Kyle thought he was worth a second-ish. I paid essentially a second for him.
But like now,
But I wasn't
say like
confident.
for Quincy's value now, because like, I mean, I'm sure that not that many people are
So he was an All-Pro
that
in
interested.
2023. So, and like 2 years ago, he didn't have as good of a year last year, but he was still good. And I was like, to me, he's older. He's fallen off a little bit. He might not be on the Jets in like a year. I was like, so I think a second and a third is like reasonable. Like I don't think he's as valuable as like, Edwards was, those type of players. But I think he's worth like he's close. And so that's why in my head I was like second and third seems fine. Now I agree. I think people don't want to pay a second and third for him, and I think that's fair. That was more my evaluation before the year. I'd say now it's more probably like right now it's kind of in flux. I still think he's worth like 1 second at least. But that's fine. If people don't think that, that's okay. Maybe he's fallen off way more than I realize. I can't say that he's been hurt this year though. He had a pulled hamstring. He's out for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, but like,
So, like,
these non-elite linebackers kind of are more like, at least I view them a little bit more like running backs, where they kind of have that fall off late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe he is. I mean, he also like literally all pro 2 years ago. So you could literally say he was elite. So I don't know. That's kind of like
Yeah, I mean, like,
Fair.
yeah, maybe, but like like usually the guys we're talking about, like elite guys, they came into the league, they were elite from the start, and they've been elite to the age of 35. Like, he kind of started slow, wasn't that great, had a couple great years. Was it scheme? Was it like, why was he an all-pro those years and not these other years? And then looks like maybe
Franklin
a
was
fall
an
off.
all-pro.
Franklin was an all-pro?
I mean,
was he deserving of that?
I don't know.
He led the league in tackles.
Yeah, there's that.
Warner and like and Demario Davis have been awesome for like Davis is a good example of someone who,
for sure,
even though he's super old, is obviously still producing, but he also is like all pro. He's like considered that still. Like he's considered like one of the best linebackers in the league still. I think he is starting to fall off a little now, but anyway.
Yeah, I
So then
just
at
think
C
it's
tier, I
interesting
had
for
is
the
like,
linebackers. Like there is
yeah,
that
go ahead.
like cliff, and you're just worried about how good they actually are, because
It's really easy to pay a second for a Jag.
yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. But then you get like the weird things where like you sell a Jag for a third, and then they're Caden Ellis and Zach Bond, and you want to shoot
Back
yourself
on,
in the head.
baby.
Like it's so weird, man. So yeah, so then I had C tier. I put like 2/3 ish. I don't know, maybe 1 second, 2/3 ish. Like B between B and C, I think there's some likely like what I don't know what do we think that is. D, I had a single third, and then F, I had like a fourth and below. And a lot of times your F's like not even happening. Like it's like Kyle, like renting Eric Wilson for like 4 games. Me selling him like Landon Roberts at the beginning of the year. Like that's a fourth. I don't think he's good. He's 31. Even if he's starting, I don't believe he's gonna hold that. I'm just selling this. Fourth, great. Take it and get out. Like that's like fine. But yeah, it's interesting. So Alec doesn't really think there's many in A at all.
Yeah, I'm
He
actually
thinks it's
starting
like
to agree with that.
S and then like B and below. I think there's a decent amount of people in A. And I think Cashman it's the problem is that it's 2 things for me that I could see driving it down. The one, he's getting a little older, and he is hurt for like a couple games at least, like every year, which is like also not great as he's getting older. But when he like, and I brought this up with Alec like 3 months ago, he's literally outproduced Roquan Smith on a week-to-week basis in the last like 2 seasons. And not this year, sorry, not including this season. So 2024, 2023, literally per game better than Roquan Smith.
I mean,
Alec,
like,
who of Alec thinks
yeah,
should be
but like
worth a first.
he is putting up big numbers, but like it's not like out of the ordinary for like top linebackers, like linebacker 1, right? Like what is it, like
So that's what I'm saying. So
18,
he's literally
20 points?
he's producing like a top 5 guy when he plays.
Yeah, but okay,
So
so
to
how much
me,
longer will he play is the question
yeah.
at this level.
So that's the question. And so to me, that's like if you're a competing team and you have a top 5 producing linebacker, how much does it take to get him off your team? Now, if I'm not competing, like you could say, well, you don't even need him, you don't even want him. What are you going to sell him for? And then it's like up to me to be like stingy and not just like give him away. Like if I'm like Shane or something. But if I'm like Andrew or I'm like you, Paul, how much would it take for me to get Cashman from you? Like probably like 2 seconds. Probably maybe more. Like you don't want to sell that going into the playoffs. And granted, here's like this is the conundrum. It's like, what is the selling point for a good team who's competing? What is the selling and what is the buying point for a good team who's competing? And so right now, I do think the market is kind of saturated. We've had a lot of like linebacker movement. I don't think it doesn't seem like people want to give me to me for 2 seconds. And that's fine because I also think he's going to play well next year, and I'm fine rolling, as I've said, completely fine rolling my team into next year. But yeah, I don't know. You can go take the floor, I guess. Anyone. That's where I am
Well,
with it.
we'll start with a fact check. I'm seeing Roquan at 18.7 per game, and
Again, we did this already. It's counting the games in which that Cashman got hurt and only played like 25 snaps or something. If you take those out and only take games where they both played like 85% plus stat percentage, it's higher. We already did this. I don't need to do this again.
all
It
right,
doesn't really matter.
that's
And
fine. That's a good clarification.
as somebody who's overpaid for linebackers, end of the day, it comes down to what you need, timing of the market.
Yeah. I
Always.
And that's it's not any different from any other position, any other trade that's ever happened in this league. When it comes down to a second, then plus minus whatever, if it's around that kind of value, it's like all right, whatever. When TJ Edwards, I know I overpaid. I know I overpaid in the moment, but I was also just like, you know what, we're all in, so let's just go for it.
Yeah.
And I
I mean, I
felt
got
like that was the best available, or at the time, linebacker that I could acquire. So I was like, I'm gonna pay what it takes. So
I mean, he was a top 8 guy that seemed like he was holding his position for at least like 2 years. This year,
and
he's
I
not
don't think
holding
he's
it.
lost his position. It's just injuries this year.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Which
he's
does
playing
happen
really
to
well
people age.
actually. Probably better than I thought he was going to play overall. Like I thought he was a worse player than he actually has turned out to be, which does happen. But like, it's really tricky. I think the problem with linebackers, and Alec, you probably maybe you agree here or disagree, but like it's just so tricky to value them properly because we don't get a good sense as fans, even if we're watching the games, even if we're looking at PFF or whatever. Like there's not good stats, there's not good there's not like people talking about these guys on a regular basis. They're like fantasy, analysts and whatnot. um we basically kind of, at least for me, like what a contract says is, like when somebody gets a contract, that says a lot about what they actually are as a player, because that's like
Yeah.
the best evaluation we can get of them. We don't get good evaluations of defensive guys generally.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
So it is so
Alec is
tricky.
funny. Alec told me he's like revamped his opinion on linebacker worth.
I think I valued them higher before a few years ago, and now, I mean, it's not like I'm valuing them that much lower. I think more than anything, I think there for me are fewer people that I consider high value.
Yeah, I
You
completely
you
agree with
you
that.
describe like almost like 5-6 buckets of types of players. For me, it's like there's 3 buckets. There's like the top 5 linebackers. There's like 5 through 25, and then there's 25 through 48. That's like all the starters. Everyone else, I don't even care about. But it's like there's 3 value buckets for me, and those are kind of the cutoffs for me.
Yeah, I think you can have. I agree. I was kind of granular in how, and I tried to be kind of granular with the tiers, but sure. But within that bucket, there's ranges, right? Like, let's say like Diablo and Tuoto are like in the same bucket. I'm still like valuing Tuoto more than Diablo because he's like 4 years younger and has outproduced him generally. Like, you know what I mean? So
Maybe you would want to let go of him less than Diablo, but to me, they're under a normal market, all things held equal, like around the same value.
yeah, I think the one thing that's interesting linebackers too is like figuring out the ones that are actually probably going to produce next year. Like Sam picked up Gray in like December of last year. He like dropped him in the middle of the season. No one picked him up because he wasn't playing, even though he's a rookie. And then he picked him up again in December, and then he starts this year, and he's like top 5. Like figuring out the people who are actually going to like get the opportunity to play is kind of hard. That's part of why we have this like 50 effing waiver pickups right
Yeah.
before in preseason, because no one knows who's actually going to win jobs.
I mean, that's the other reason I feel like linebacker value is pretty low, even if they are producing like Cashman is, unless it's a situation like Andrew was describing where somebody needs a guy who produces to try to win the championship. You kind of view it
Oh, I
like you
agree.
can pick up a guy, you can find a guy, lying around in the trash bin, and he might be
You
that guy next year.
used to be able to do that more than I think we can now.
I mean,
I don't think it's as common now.
I think
I
it's
think
harder.
everyone's
It gets
gotten
harder and
better.
harder, but it's still possible. I mean, that's kind of how. I don't
I mean,
know if I've traded for any big linebackers really. Aluakun was the one. I guess I've drafted a couple, but you can kind of it is possible, and that's
oh
probably
yeah.
why
I
it's
definitely think it's possible. I mean, a couple of the dudes who got picked up early, like Austin picked up Drake Thomas, outbid me for that early in the year, and he's been playing. He hasn't been great, but he's been solid, like a solid like third linebacker to start all year, pretty
yeah, and
much.
there's just so many of them, and it's possible to do this. I mean, there's a reason that like edges don't really outscore linebackers by and large, but um they're viewed as more valuable for sure. Like nobody's paying 2 first for a linebacker. I mean, maybe nobody should pay 2 first for an edge, to be honest. But
Micah's looking good.
yeah, but it's more of a scarcity thing than anything else.
Yeah. I completely agree that the production, and this is why I always said to Alec when he would offer me, like when he offered me like Roquan for the 6th pick this year, and I was like, no. I was like, I can literally find 90% of Roquan's production from a dude who's worth like a third. The problem is
You can,
that,
but you
knowing
know that
production is
Roquan
gonna-
is going to be that top 10 guy
That's right.
for years
Knowing-
and years and years.
That's right. Knowing that that is going to be there for you every year is often not the case. Like Landman, what would it take for you to sell Landman now, Kyle? Like you'd want like at least a second, right?
No, probably a third. I mean, I wouldn't sell
You
him
would
'cause I'm
sell
on the
Landman for a
playoffs.
third right now?
He's on an expiring contract.
No, he's
not
not.
good.
Wait, you don't?
He
You
got
see the
he got a
news?
contract.
Did he?
Wait.
He did.
Wait. Hey, here's
sending
a
it.
third.
Oh, I accepted it. Oh, shit. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, or maybe I just thought he was on a 1-year deal. But all right, I'm keeping him forever. Yeah, I guess
That's a verbal
uh,
confirmation.
I
Send him
guess-
over.
A third,
I
right?
guess a second.
I'll give you 2
I mean,
thirds.
I don't
I
even
don't
think
know
he's
that
very
is Landman
good.
even good. Like maybe
No,
Landman's
I don't.
bad
I don't
and
think.
he's
I
gonna
don't
lose
think
his
he is
job.
good.
Like I have no idea. But that's
The
like,
contract
the
definitely
point
helps.
is,
No.
like,
That's the
he
thing
has
about
to be worth more
contracts
than a
is
third
that Landman was on a 1-year, $1 million deal. We're all like, okay, so this is guy some jag who's gonna get replaced next year, right?
Yeah.
But now what did he get? He signed like a real deal. He signed like a 2-year,
Yeah, it's like 3 years.
3 years.
I don't know if it's actually 3 years, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is. They have, it's really a 3-year extension. They have an out after the 3rd year.
Yeah, I
though.
mean a 3-year, $22.5 million deal with 16 million
Damn, my boy
guaranteed.
getting paid.
Yeah, I mean like that's a
Yeah,
real deal.
that's- yeah, like so now he's definitely worth like a second at least. For sure.
Oh yeah, like a week ago. That's nice.
Man,
Yeah.
all right. Why did we not? All right, I should have just traded Kyle for.
I'm not a
No,
retard. I would have looked it up.
I do think like trading someone at the beginning of a season, like Sam did with Landman, when you know that that linebacker is at least getting an opportunity to start for even a single third, I think is like.
I don't think it's
I think it's
necessarily bad to
You-
trade Nate Landman at the beginning of the season.
You traded Roberts for a
Well, I
4th.
mean,
He could easily be
that
worth
trade was
nothing.
Yeah.
Terrible, but
Yeah, I don't think that's bad necessarily.
I don't think it's necessarily if you got fair, like. But what do you think fair value is for Landman at the beginning of the year?
Did he get a third? I have
Well,
no idea what
did
the
he
trade
get a
was.
third?
No, he paid a 4th. He got Bateman and Chisholm, and he gave up Thule, a 4th, and Landman.
I mean, I think that was just
That trade,
trying to get in on the Chisholm hype.
That trade is obviously idiotic. I'm just saying, in terms of like what, say you traded a single third for Landman, I think that would have been fine actually.
Yeah, that's
because
to me that's fine.
no one really thought that Landman was going to be. See, this is what happened. I messed up. I traded Caden Ellis to Adcock for Nolan Smith, which I regret a little bit. At the time, I
That's
thought it
a
was
again,
fine.
but I'm not gonna go to my
I was
bathroom
choosing
and talk
between
about-
Werner and like Ellis, and I was like, I'll keep one. Werner's been better. He's younger. It seems like he's going to be starting. Ellis went and signed with Atlanta, and because Ellis had been a constant backup the entire like his whole career, I kind of didn't think he was starting with Atlanta. I didn't really realize he was going to be starting, and when he started with New Orleans, he actually played great and produced really well, and so that should have been an a key in my mind. Like, okay, he's probably going to do well with Atlanta. And he signed the contract, and I just didn't think that he was like maybe going to start or whatever. And so I was like, okay, I'll take a third. He's producing, like maybe he plays a little bit with Atlanta. He's probably not going to. And then he was like a top 5 guy. And I was
thought
like,
Ellis-
gosh, dang it!
wasn't
I
Ellis with
kept the wrong one.
New Orleans?
I could
No,
have
he
just
wasn't.
traded him Werner.
Huh. I thought that Ellis was already with New Orleans, but no. Yeah, so you traded
No,
him.
he started like half the year with New Orleans because Werner got hurt. and
Yeah,
he
I
played
remember really
awesome when he
wanting
was hurt.
Ellis off of Zach. I didn't realize that he was on your team first. But yeah, no. Adcock was really high on him going to Atlanta.
Yeah. And so it's like, yeah, so I traded him in the off season, like right when the draft happened, before he even played a snap with Atlanta. And after that, I was like, all right, you have to make sure that these dudes are actually like starting before you trade them, unless you get like decent, like something good for them. Ellis, like I just didn't think he was actually gonna like. It was just a bad evaluation on my part. I think
I don't know. I
Landman,
don't think
someone who's
it's
also a
that bad of.
journeyman.
What was
I
the
don't
only?
think in the
Wasn't
moment
that
it's
bad of
that bad
value.
of buyer's remorse. Like now it's buyer's remorse, but like in the moment, I don't think it's that bad.
Well,
So you basically
think
traded
Nolan-
him immediately after the draft. Is that what happened?
yeah, I tried to trade. Well, we tried to do it during the draft, but we ran out of time by like a minute, and so I was just like, I'll just do it after. So we just did it after. I was trying to get a little more for it. I think I could have, but I was just like, whatever. So
Yeah, I
it
don't know
was,
about
yeah,
this one.
I don't
Like,
know.
so for me, like, obviously this is going way back in time, but you know, you have a decent contract, like for linebackers, 3-year, 21. Low signing bonus. Oh, 10 million guaranteed. It's not a bad contract for a linebacker. Like, yeah, he's probably going to be starting and producing, I think, for Atlanta. Not,
Yeah, that's
wasn't
what I'm saying. It
expecting
was
the
just
level.
It was a bad evaluation by
Yeah.
me, and I should have like thought about the fact Landman coming in 1 year, 1 million. You don't even know if he's going to start midway through the year. I think taking a third is fine.
Oh yeah, totally for
Um,
that, in my opinion. If it was a
But
third.
yeah, obviously what he gave up was bad. But my point is, I don't think if someone is going to start, I think a third is like the base, because you know they're producing. Like you know they're going to get points. if they're
It is
starting,
a little
almost
tricky
always.
because you know you're not getting 100% snaps out of a ton of linebackers in the league nowadays. So if they're
Unless you have a
starting,
really
but they're
good
getting
reason.
70% snaps, you're not so happy either.
Yeah, I think if if there's a reason you don't think they're going to be getting a large snap share, then I think that's something different. Or if you just know, like me with Roberts, like he's 31. I knew him when he was on the Dolphins. Even when he plays, he doesn't actually produce that much. Like even when I know that, and I'm like, even if he's starting, I think he could be replaced in 3 games. That's different. If it's someone like kind of unknown, the Ellis thing freaked me out, and so now I'm a little more sensitive to it because I'm like, I should have sold Sanborn this year to Alec or Kyle, to be honest. But I was freaked out with that. I was like, I didn't even know if he was starting. They thought he was, and I was like, where are you reading this? No, I don't. I can't find anything that says he's actually starting.
Look, Sanborn,
But
I think, is
should have
a
sold him
perfect
to that.
counterpoint to the Landman thing. Like, it easily could have been a same situation for Landman, I think. Like, Sanborn and Landman, like, it's a big coin
Yeah,
flip.
maybe.
Very similar situations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
true.
you know,
I think in general, like these, I agree with Alec with the pots. Like, for as long as I can pay a fourth for a guy who's going to start for most of the season, I'd much rather do that every year than pay 2 seconds for a guy who might be a little bit better production wise and probably would start the following year, but after that, who knows? I'll pay for the 1 year rental most times and save the seconds for something else or for a top 5 guy like Roquan or Warner or something like that. I'm pretty hesitant on paying more than a third or a fourth for like anyone other than a top 8 linebacker.
Fred
Alright,
Warner
I'm gonna
went for
say
what,
this.
2 seconds?
I think that's a little ridiculous, but
Like
What,
I
Fred
like
Warner going for 2 seconds?
Andrew, what were you
no,
going
I'm
to say?
saying I did not say I would pay that. That's not what I think Warner's price is. I'm just saying I'd rather pay for the third and fourth round value guys than
no, I
for 2
understand that.
seconds.
I'm saying I don't think there's a lot of third and fourth round guys that you can get that are starting.
I think my
I
whole
don't think-
roster is that. Dodson, Landman.
So okay. So Dodson was also another wishy-washy case where he got cut mid-year last year. He came to Dolphins and popped off, but didn't actually wasn't actually necessarily good, and wasn't guaranteed that he would actually be good this year. So it's kind of the same thing. And that was also I essentially paid Schwessinger for Dodson. That was like I traded essentially the 301 for Dodson.
Yeah, I think that was great. I'm just saying, if I can get a guy who's the green dot at the beginning of the year and pay a third or a fourth for him, I'll do that compared to
Yeah, that
buying
was also
Cashman.
a slight misread from me as well, because although Dotson actually hasn't been
I don't
great
even
this year.
think like this. I don't think there's much to read. Like I think no one knows much, and like all we can do is
No,
look
we
at
all thought Dodson was a Jag last year.
who's got the green dot and who's got a good contract and age as well. But like past that,
I think you've done a
like-
really good job at so you paid a lot for Warner, you played a lot for like St. Brown and whatnot, but I think you've actually done a really good job of filling the edges of your team this year. I think you've done a very good job of that for like not a huge cost. And obviously the Landman trade helped a ton with that. Like the Dodson trade helped a ton with that. And I think the Dodson trade is fair. I don't regret that really. But yeah, getting Bush was like a great target from Shane.
I don't think Bush.
he was cheap.
I think if you're starting Bush in the playoffs, I would not be happy.
Really, he's been doing like what is he?
Yeah, but Bush,
Go-
like to
I'm
me,
looking
Bush
right
is
now.
like,
He's with-
you know, he could drop into like a lower snap
Oh,
share than you want.
he
and
was
that's
my
pretty
first.
risky.
He was my first linebacker
So-
drafted in our startup.
Startup.
So like to me, Bush isn't all that valuable. Like
Oh, I agree. I
Zach,
think Bush
like,
is
what are
worth
you
like a
calling him
third
at?
maximum.
third max.
He's
I
been
mean,
unplayable for like 3 years.
like I don't
been
even
I don't
putting
think
him
he's
in the
a third.
competition for a third makes it like I feel like I'm completely off compared to what you're talking about for Bush.
Well,
Like,
I think that
I
he
pay
would
like a
have been like a
fifth. I think. for
Yeah.
Bush.
So I would have said he was like a fourth this year ish, but then he's actually been averaging like 15 to 20 points a game pretty much. So then it's like if he's actually doing that, I feel like a fourth is almost too low. The thing is he hasn't been able to keep a starting job until this season, so that's why I would say he's like more of a fourth.
Like he's not even
In
getting
most-
like
in
the
most
snap share
cases,
that
that
you
would
would
be like
want
a
from
third,
a linebacker, like a starting linebacker, like starting for one of our teams. So
Okay, so Paul, he's
and
essentially been
no contract stability. Ability is probably
I'm
not
not-
there.
he's essentially produced the same as Robert Spillane and OKRK.
So
and-
he has some
and, like,
production.
Will he always?
So like Dennis and Spillane, that's like who Bush has been this year.
Yeah, but you're not telling me that Bush is worth the same as Spillane
No.
or
No, 100% no. I agree. He's been not able to keep a starting job for like 3 years unless his play is just complete, unless he's gotten back his form. Essentially, Bush was great out of Michigan, really good his rookie year with Pittsburgh. Had a catastrophic knee injury, and then was like never the same. And yeah, and
I'm
so
just
he
saying
hasn't
he's
been.
not
He
worth
got
much
like
at
cut
all.
by
Is
Pittsburgh.
the thing.
Yeah, and so like I agree. I don't think he actually should be worth a third because
I don't think we do
his
agree. I don't think
history.
he's worth a fourth either.
I feel like if you're producing 15 to 20 points a game, you have to be worth a fourth. I would say you're probably worth a third.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Zach on this one. He is producing this year, and whoever is buying is gonna use him right now. They don't
That's
really
right.
care
No
about
one
the
is buying him
future.
for next season, and I think he.
I'd
could
be even
worth a
worried about
third in
him
the
week
right
to week
situation.
still, though, to be honest. So, but maybe that's just me.
I'm worried
I
week
mean,
to week.
Yeah.
If
I think
JSN
if
comes
he's
back next
your
season,
last
then-
linebacker or second to last linebacker, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather be my sixth linebacker.
After all this conversation, my only takeaway is if you're an ascending team and you want to buy a linebacker off me, I'm not going to sell to you because you're looking for value. You're looking for diamonds in the rough, and I'm just going to be like, no, now you have to pay extra just because of what your team situation is. So
You
I
thought it was rough the whole time, but now that the person's interested, now it's a diamond.
yes,
I think either the price of B tier linebackers has to go down, or the price of 1 year rentals has to go up.
All
And
right,
it's
let's
probably
do
the
like
latter.
a very quick rapid fire. I'm just gonna name the best linebackers this year in or descending order of how they produced, and you're gonna tell me what you would pay for them.
Well, I want to see their contract, but
Okay. Well,
I'm going to say nothing for everyone because I'm
Yeah.
capped out.
Jordan Brooks.
probably like
Second.
2 seconds.
Second.
Second, I'll say a second. I'll say a second and a third, just because he's the linebacker one right now.
Bro, he's a fucking beast. He's got an
He's the
amazing
linebacker by,
tackle
like,
rate,
a lot.
and
It's,
he's
like,
got a
kinda
good
not close.
contract.
I'm just
Second and
Jack.
third.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell.
2
low
seconds.
first.
Yeah, low first.
Maybe a little first, yeah.
Bobby Wagner.
Third.
Fourth.
2/3.
Fourth.
Who said 2/3?
I said 2/3.
Okay.
Maybe 1/3. I'm gonna say 1/3.
I said 1/3.
Yeah, he's like Demario Davis when I bought him from Jack. I felt like a couple years ago. That's like the same. I paid a third for him, and I thought that's fair.
I think our league has established that the old vet that's producing is like the third.
Couldn't get a third for Davis this year, unfortunately. Did I?
He's
Did I get a
he's
third
too
for
old.
him?
He's like 45 years
You
old.
got like a
I think I got a
third,
third
fourth swap
swap.
or something.
I think I
Yeah.
got a third swap. Yeah. All right, Cedric Gray.
2
Second
seconds.
and
Second and
third.
third.
I'd say 2 seconds.
I think Cedric Gray's an awesome buy.
Devin
You like
White.
him more than before we continue. You like Cedric Gray more than Jordan Brooks, Paul?
That's a good question. Yeah, maybe I upgrade Jordan Brooks to 2 seconds.
Fair.
All right, Devin White.
I
Fourth.
don't know about Devin White.
I don't know, a third, maybe. I haven't
Literally
looked into
linebacker
him.
5 right now. Literally linebacker 5 right now.
I mean, he's
And
bad.
27.
It's a hard one for me to say.
He's actually
This is
been
so
good this
hard.
year though.
Yeah.
Like
Alex and I had
he's
this
not just been
conversation. He's like, would you pay 2 seconds for Devin White? I was like, no, but I could see you wanting like that, considering. So he was once upon a time worth absolutely a first, right?
yeah.
Early on. Then I don't know what happened to him, but he was like not starting anymore. He's like bad. Alec,
Effort.
you can tell me what happened. He just like
He
not
was
starting?
legitimately playing bad. He lost his job. Trouble getting onto a team. Then
Bad team.
the Raiders give him an opportunity, and he's actually playing well this year.
Okay.
So
let's
also-
say he is playing well now.
Also a
He's
good
27,
situation. Presumably he
and
doesn't have a
used to be
contract.
really
Yeah.
good player
does
for
not have a
3 years
contract
early.
though.
He'll get a contract for sure, though.
Yeah.
What makes you think he's playing well?
PFF grades. Just what I hear from people.
Okay.
Research articles.
YouTube research articles.
I think it's fine.
So yeah,
I
so it's
think he's like 2/3 to low second.
like, okay.
Uh,
I think that's fair.
probably a value buy if you believe in him.
So same thing though. Like, would you rather pay a low second or a fourth for Eric Wilson? And maybe Eric Wilson's not the best example.
I don't
I'm
like
paying
buying
for-
Eric Wilson for a fourth, to be honest.
I'm paying for the guy who's producing and is also on an expiring contract and seeing what happens next year.
Yeah, I
Actually,
think
Eric
Devin White's
Wilson's
closer to
31
2/3.
and hasn't had like a relevant year in like 5 to 7 years or something.
The main point is that like I am not even thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what I'm going to get out of these guys for the time that they have their contract, and then I'm still going to have that second to pay for someone who is actually getting a contract next year and is going to be a green dot linebacker.
Is
Rather
Eric
than, like-
Wilson going to get a contract next year, though? For this
No, that's-
example.
No,
No,
that's
I
why I
think
paid a
he's
fourth
saying.
for him.
I think he's saying he doesn't care about that. He's just going to use that second for someone else.
Yes. No, I get that, but it was the way he was wording it for a second confused me.
I think other like kind of like Alec alluded to, other than Warner and Roquan and whoever else you want to name in that like top 6 or 7, I'm not confident that anyone is going to get a contract or like be a green dot linebacker
Or stay in that top 5
or
for multiple
yeah,
years.
or stay there. So I'm not going to pay for the people who you think might be just below them because we've seen that like fall off from those people. I'd rather just save those picks and buy a rental who's probably going to get similar production, even if they are less likely to get a contract in the next year.
You know, this
I
is
think-
See,
interesting
that's
too.
is
Oh,
where
yeah.
I 100% disagree. I would rather pay top dollar right now for the guys who get me top dollar points this year if I'm paying for points this year.
Like who?
Oh, Kaiser White last year, a second round pick.
So what would you pay for Devin White right now?
Devin White, I don't know. I don't fucking know what he's doing right now. I haven't paid.
He's the
Literally
what you know
linebacker
is he's
5.
the linebacker 5.
Equal to
and
Cedric Gray. Just imagine Cedric Gray's in your team.
then I
Don't
pay
imagine
with
Cedric
second
Gray's on
and
your team
third.
'cause it's not the same at all. But
What'd
One
you
is
say, Andrew?
27 and one is 23. But
one has a 4-year contract and one's on an expiring contract. One is on the Raiders and is not good.
See, the thing is, ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm looking for when I'm paying for a linebacker, I'm paying for points this year. I don't
I
care
agree with
about the
that.
contract situation.
That
So
feels like
I
you're
will,
agreeing with me. Eric Wilson's giving you
yes,
the points.
but I'm saying I would rather pay for a top dollar points this year rather than I'm not looking at like okay, I'm not looking to get value. I'm looking for I'd rather pay for a I don't know, a RAV4 rather than maybe or not a RAV4. That's a bad
What is this example?
my
what's
naming
the
Eric
other
Wilson RAV4.
what's a Toyota? A fucking good
Camry?
Toyota.
Camry?
No.
Land Cruiser? What are
No,
you
whatever,
talking
doesn't
about?
matter. Either way, I'm not bargain hunting to get similar points. I'm just like, all right, who's
My man wants a
I'm
Maybe
looking
you should,
Lexus.
He wants a
Andrew.
Lexus, yeah.
Maybe if you did
He
that,
doesn't
you'd be
want
in
that.
Kyle's situation and not in your situation. I don't know.
I think Andrew has a
Well-
great situation, but I think getting a bargain is always good.
yes, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm not like a linebacker is not a thing I'm taking the time to deep dive for.
I'm willing
I'm
to.
just-
Eric
'cause,
Wilson
like,
is certainly scoring the most points for like the least amount of
I actually think it was a great deal
purchasing.
for Kyle. I
Yeah,
legit
that's a
think
great
it was.
No,
deal.
I'm not saying Kyle made a bad deal. All I'm trying to say is I'm just doing the least path of resistance for buying.
Paul, what did you say for Devin White?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh,
I'll think about it some more. Devin White's a more complicated one for me.
it is. All right, let's go. All right, number 6. Zach Bond.
Second and
Second.
third.
Second and third, yeah. He deserves it 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
wasn't
Good
willing to pay a
contract.
fourth before, so
Surprised it's not a
Yeah.
little more.
Is this all
I
gonna
just-
be?
I just literally-
To give it
I
We're gonna
second
think-
keep going down the
one.
list until we get to who's your guy? Damn,
Cashman.
Cashman. Then we get to
No,
Cashman,
he
and
won't
we're
be
gonna
on this
say 2
because he's only
seconds.
played, like 7 games. He's only been on like 7 games, so he won't be on. But no, I'm gonna do like the top 10. I just think it's fun because
I
there's some
might do
good
2
names in this
seconds
list.
for Bond.
So Bond
Might
is
be 2
6.
seconds.
I wouldn't do two.
Number 7, Nate Landman.
Second.
Second. Not a high one though.
nothing.
Nothing.
I was not willing to go after him.
Is that your price, Kyle? Set it
Uh,
right now so everyone knows. The whole league's listening to this podcast.
probably second and a little bit. I don't know. Second and a fourth.
All right. Well, that changed in 5 minutes. It was just a third, but I'm glad we've got that covered.
Well, I didn't know he had a
We taught him
contract when
about
I
the
said
new
a third.
contract.
All right. Number 8, Tyrell Dodson. Actually tied at 8, but I'll say who's 9 after this.
Man, where the fuck are my linebackers?
Sounds like you need to buy.
I need to buy
I think you need to
Cashman.
spend more thirds and fourths.
I
Yeah.
think the ultimate point that I'm learning right here, it's either a second or a fourth that I'm willing to pay.
Nothing
Well,
else.
why pay the second when you can just pay the fourth?
Why pay the fourth when you can upcharge? Because if I'm setting the market for myself for future years. Spin zone.
I'd pay late second, early third for Dodson.
2/3.
All right.
Could
Number
get cut
9,
after this
tied
year.
with Dodson. In the 1-for-1 perfect trade, Carson Schwarzenegger.
I would have paid 2 seconds for him because that's a homer pick for me.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
pay 2 seconds for him.
Schlessinger's he's a second and a third, maybe even 2 seconds.
I think 2 seconds
think-
is fair.
I think him and
Yeah,
Cedric Gray are pretty
Andrew
close
offered
to
me
me.
2 seconds, and I said I would not.
I don't
To
blame you.
me, and this is what I said before, and this is what I kind of put Gray in, is like if you are young and you produced a lot, and you have like high draft capital, which Carson does. Like if he starts off doing it next year too, I think it's like he's all in the S tier now. Now he's Jack Campbell. I think he's like already 2 seconds to me, with like the possibility of being like in the Jack Campbell tier in like a year or less.
I agree with that.
I think
Yeah.
that's possible. Yeah. But also like the difference between those like 2 seconds and like the reality is that we're saying first, but I think you would struggle to get more than like we were talking about earlier, a very late
Oh yeah,
first.
I
Yeah.
agree. It's
So like
such
to
an
me,
issue-
like the difference between 2 seconds and like a very late first, I'm not even sure how much there is. But yeah,
I think that's true.
agree.
I also think it's interesting, like the price point of like what it takes to get it away from you and what you're willing to pay for it is always sometimes so different. It's quite funny, but yeah. So
Do
I think
11,
touch
do
rate's
11.
really high.
Yeah, that was kind of Parsons to a T, actually. Oh yeah, wait, were you on
Yeah, do
10?
number 11. Yeah,
Number
let's do 11. Let's just do a nice 11.
11.
What's 11?
Yeah, let's do a top 11 linebackers.
All right.
Is
Number.
next.
So that was number 7, or sorry, that was number 9. Wait,
That's number 10.
1, 2.
Well,
No, that
you
wasn't 10.
skipped.
1, 2, 3. I'm not counting.
Yeah,
counting
that's fair.
the else.
That's
1,
good.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that was 9. Number 10. Eric Wilson.
Eric Wilson,
Eric
fourth.
Wilson.
Best I could do is a fourth.
I would have paid a first rounder.
Andrew's
off a
fucking putting everybody in
34-point
shit, though.
massive 11 tackle, 1 sack game.
Yeah, I think
do
fourth
think
is
he's
the right
little-
price.
He's a little bit more boomer bust with tackles, but
He's
Um,
honestly he's only had 1 week under 10 points, so it's not as boomer bust as you think.
well, no, I'm just saying I think he doesn't
He
have a
took lot of
great
sacks this year.
doesn't have a great tackle for, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's more of like a
We'll
He's
do
more of a
we'll do
rusher.
11 just for Paul. Alatun.
There we are.
Second, and a third. I'd say second and a third because he's been a stalwart for so long. Maybe even 2 seconds still.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd kind of
quite a bit.
say maybe we're talking. I'm
Is he
not
good?
saying like a high or mid, but like maybe like a low first.
oh man.
No, 2 seconds makes sense.
Kind of like he's got a good contract. They could cut him this year, but I would guess they won't if he's playing well.
I guess I never gave I don't know why I didn't share mine. I was like hosting it and I like kind of was just
Yeah, that's a
deferring,
good
but
point. I
never
don't know why we
actually
didn't
shared my
ask
own.
you to. Yeah.
Actually, I think I appreciate that.
All right, guys, we hit 2 hours, so I'm gonna cut this.
You sure? Do we not
Just leave
wanna
your
go to
Discord
3?
open. Just leave your Discord open and